Hello everybody and welcome back to another stream by me, Blut084, BLUT084 Art and Games. And today we've got some more from the Dark Temptress that we've been doing for Nikki. And we'll be getting on today with a bit of inking. We'll be using my Sharpie pen, well, possibly my Sharpie pen, really depends on if I need it. But we will be using my fine line pen to go around the whole image and sort of putting some dark images to it and giving it a bit more of a pop. As you can see, it's all still been sketched, and that sketch done yesterday, guys. So if you want to learn how to sketch like this and learn how to actually get this form of a person, like as you can see here, I've copied basically one of my older pictures. As this week for Nikki, we were doing another picture out of a book, which was Tempi, and as she's like a demon princess, I think she is. I thought, why not do sort of, well, she's temptress, so put the similar clothing and similar sort of position that she's standing in. I did change it a little bit, as you can see, and I put a couple hands sort of stretching out to sort of, try and grab her as she's tempting somebody in. I did try again. I tried to do it the hand as like a come to me hand, and but I put a different thing, and instead of the ears, I put horns. And instead of the bow, I've put like a strappy little top. And she's wearing a corset and things like that. So it's again, it's not completely the same image. It's a little bit different. But I did really like drawing this one previously. Many years ago now, I actually drew that one. And I thought, why not sort of take inspiration from one of my old pieces? Instead of copying somebody else's, I've actually copied my own piece. And again, guys, there is absolutely nothing wrong with copying. And if you do struggle with any kind of art or anything like that, it is definitely worth sort of copying somebody else's so you sort of can get better. I've done that pretty much the whole way through my art career. And again, people, when you go to your art classes, they'll say, draw a bowl of fruit, draw this, draw that. So you're always copying something. So again, I thought, why not copy something I've already done in the previous instead of copying somebody else? Hopefully, you enjoyed yesterday's video and you learned a little bit on how to do certain things and want to sort of try it yourself. I noticed there's a couple guys up on Instagram that did enjoy it. And again, thank you very much for your comments over there. Again, if you want to follow me over there, my name is same name, different place, over on Instagram, Mixer, and here every day on YouTube. That's Blut084. BLUT084. Don't forget that today's stream will be a couple of hours because it takes a while to actually go around everything and get everything done. I don't speed my videos up purely because you get to see every step of everything I get that I'm doing, guys. So bear with me. And if you just want to see the finished image, don't forget, if you're watching back, you can fast forward right to the end. But otherwise, guys, watch along. Keep watching, and hopefully we'll be joined by Nikki today. Yesterday she was a bit tired, so she couldn't join us. She may be a bit tired again today. She's not feeling very well, so that doesn't matter. We'll just get her in, and we'll have a conversation again on Instagram this afternoon like we did yesterday. But as always, I'm drinking a cup of tea. And as always, guys, there are things that you can see and listen to in the background. I'm going to get my playlist going again and get myself sorted, get my chair, and get those pens going.
The story of injustice is still trucking along, with Batman of this universe refusing to lose by using Lex Luthor's technology to summon a version of the Justice League that hadn't turned evil. But while the final battle of Batman vs. Superman was finally coming to a close in the Injustice universe, there are individuals that we didn't see in the game.
Oh, she has joined us today. She's getting her coffee. Good morning, Nikki. How are you doing?
Joker. How did Harley cope with the Joker being alive again? And how did she
just sorting myself out. Literally just started, so give me a minute or two.
Let's find out as we lead into the Injustice 2 series. You see, after our last battle in which Harley increased the size of her team, she decided to once again call up the Insurgency's headquarters to see where Batman is so that she can hopefully help. At this point in the story in the game, Batman has assembled the alternate universe Justice League, and he was leading them to the old destroyed Wayne Manor to have them help him operate his secret weapon against Superman. But when Harley got hold of Batgirl,
what do you guys think of the change in the thing? Do you like the hands? Do you like the bows that I put her in? As in, it's basically the same one over there. And I will be colouring this in a little bit with my Copic markers. And probably a little bit of pencil too.
She took her gang with her after renaming them from Larry Perry Terry to Larry Jerry Barry. They insisted that those weren't their real names, but she told Jerry that he can go back inside if he wants to talk back to her. When they arrived in Wayne Manor, she saw a giant shield and Shazam guarding it while playing on his phone. Harley had an idea, so she took her hammer, she slid down the hill, and she went to go meet Shazzy. If you had forgotten, Harley has taken quite a shine to Shazam, and way earlier in the Injustice tale, she tried to convince him to leave the regime with her. As she walked out in front of him, dropping a green pill out of her boots, she calls out to him while taking the pill. The very same green pills that were invented to give regular people super strength and durability. Shazam hovers down, warning her to leave. With Superman's temper, she won't survive.
Okay, right.
Harley
So let's get things sorted out.
What his safe word is.
Make sure I think everything's good over there. And I think it is. So let's get going, guys. I've got to move this picture. Again, that was my previous picture. If you want any of these prints, guys, all you got to do is ask me over on Instagram. There has been somebody over on Instagram that has one themselves picture that's on my back wall. I'm going to have to turn that down after I'm going to have to shout over it. But again, there's been people that asked to get for me to print them out. And I will be doing that for you, bud. So don't worry. I just got to take me a couple of days to go to the art shop and get it professionally printed out for you, because I don't give out the originals anymore. If you want your own print, guys, all you got to do is ask over on Instagram. My name's Blut084, BLUT084. Okay, right. Where do we need today? So again, we'll probably be using my Sharpie. Definitely will be using my ink fine line pen, and using a few of my Copic markers, brush pens, and the rubber once again to get rid of all the lines once I've inked it, which I'm trying to find. That one there. Whoa. That one there.
And with that, Harley and her gang, with Billy as prisoner, enter the manor. And just as Batman and the good Justice League begin to enter the manor themselves on the top floor.
Let me know if you can hear that okay in the background, guys, because that does help when I've stopped talking and things like that. Because I do have times when I won't talk too much. And I need my glasses. But if I do go quiet, guys, listen to that playlist in the background. It is Comic Historian. And if you want to listen to any of the other Comic Historian, don't forget, you can ask where I get them from, or just check out one of the other videos, as there are loads on every single one. Okay, Nicole, is there anything you want to change before I start inking this? Because I'm pretty much happy with the way it is.
Harley and her crew enter the Batcave, where they see it destroyed from the last battle that it had. They also see the Batmobile sans a couple of tires. It should have been an easy fix and a drive-off until a baton hits the ground, and Harley looks up to see Damian Wayne. Her crew tells her to watch out, Nightwing has arrived, but Harley quickly informs them that that is actually Damian Wayne in Nightwing's outfit after he accidentally...
I'm going to definitely keep in the hands, more than likely be keeping the wings. I can change him into like a Batwing, if not Batwing, Dragon Wing sort of thing if you like, but I like the ripped effect. It's just like a demonic creature. She just... evil, so she's sort of from the back of Darklands. Well, yeah, we were speaking about that yesterday. We're keeping her hair black, weren't we? The hair will stay black, that's no problem. You like the horns where they curl? The clothing she's wearing, is it too skimpy for you, or do you want to change that? Because I can just sort of give her a little mini skirt instead of obviously seeing the pants underneath.
He grabs her foot, slamming her into the ground. She gives him a swift kick to the groin, only to discover that other parts of him are made out of steel, and he stomps her on the head. Meanwhile, back at Wayne Manor, our heroes have defeated the regime members that they were fighting with the help of the Green Lantern, and Wonder Woman informs him that her losing to Killer Frost does not leave this dimension.
Cool, I'll leave it as is then and start inking. Do you want to put any effect on the eye? Because I kind of like to leave them as blank, if you can see what I mean.
As they tackle him, he smugly launches into the sky. Billy Batson wakes up in the Batmobile with a
well, I'm going to definitely... And that little scar above her eye, can you see that one?
He knows that he has to get out of there because he watches as Black Adam throws bolts of lightning down on Harley and her gang. Black Adam lands and picks up the Batmobile, intending to slam Harley with it, but knowing that Billy is trapped inside, she quickly takes
where to start?
And puts it back down. She looks in the window, telling Billy that she would never.
It's always hard for me to sort of pick a spot to just start going. But I'm going to pick here and
he runs out tearing at the gag until it comes off.
Get
and with a
these
quick shut down, The battlefield is leveled. Put her down, Adam, and don't make me use my angry voice. He grabs Adam by his hair and he throws him into the sky, following it up with a lightning bolt. I never liked it when Superman brought you into the regime, and I know you don't like it either. So maybe we can stop pretending. Adam begins to charge back at Billy, telling him, I was never pretending. I was open about my contempt for you. Back and forth they go, bringing us the fight that was always meant to happen between these two. But back in the Batcave, Batman explains to the alternate universe Justice League.
Might add things as I'm going along. Just where I think it might need a little bit of something else.
But he made it so that it needed every Justice League member to open it up and approve it. Once that's revealed, they place their hands onto the device, and it begins to open. Back on the streets, Harley's gang begins to pick her up, and they begin to try and make a break for it because Adam and Shazam are tearing up the streets, when finally, Shazam wins out. Harley runs over to thank him with hearts in her eyes. Shaz looks at the idiots in hoods, as he puts it.
With the drawing, the original drawing, I actually had about 3 different kinds of inking pen.
We need to talk. Harley is super happy that Shazam has switched sides to join her, and she asks him if it's too early to propose.
Her eyes blank,
He gets into a field where he informs her, I like you a lot, but I'm not switching sides. I saved you for a lot of reasons, but mostly for saving Billy from getting smashed. I don't see how you can go back to working with Superman.
Smash!
That means you're guilty as well. You're no killer.
Harley's a hope in this.
Someone to keep him in check.
Keep listening to
You
that.
say I'm good, and that's the reason I'm not switching sides. She kissed him on the cheek, and he begins to hover away. Try not to die, Harley. I like knowing that you're out there. You too, Shazam. This world needs some heroes. Meanwhile, back to
Shit, I
Batman.
should have made that
Wonder
apart.
Woman picked up Adam
Oh, wow.
and brought him with her. And as they arrived, they wanted to know what Batman was planning to do with that little device. The story of Injustice is going to be going on no matter what. But initially, when Ground Zero came out, I thought it was more of a cash grab just to kind of get the name Injustice out there. But as the story's going on, I'm definitely starting to like this, and it's definitely finding a place in the Injustice saga for me. It's just explaining what's happening in the actual gameplay, since not everyone wants to play the game. Let me know in the comments down below how excited you are about Injustice 2.
There you go, inking pen. This is a, what fine line is it? 0.7, which isn't the smallest pen you can get. But the only one I have at the moment, but it's lasted me, probably 5 years now. It hasn't run out. It hasn't faltered. In fact, it still gives a bit like a good inky blur. Give me a second. That's an advert. I'll get rid of that.
It's time for Harley Quinn's solo run to come back, as she is now a punk rocker. Okay, so this whole Harley Quinn run is really amazing, and this is the second storyline in DC Rebirth for Harley Quinn. I hope you guys enjoy.
Okay, right hand. I had a bit of trouble with this hand yesterday. Definitely go check that video out yesterday, guys, for
It was just any other morning.
how much of a pain in the ass it was. Just couldn't get it posed right. But I sort of finished. Decided this is how it's going to be.
He looks out the window and he sees a knight riding on a horse, and he asks, "What do you freaks want?" The knight points his lance at the tires as it turns into a gun, and he says they want everything that he's carrying.
Sort of beckoning, come to me, come to the.
It causes the mail truck to swerve and crash into a lamppost. The sound of the crash can be heard from Harley Quinn's apartment, and quickly her and her companion Tony run outside with shotguns. Harley shouts, "Holy Jouster-Rolly!"
You know what I mean? I get putting the other finger and the thumb on this side, and it doesn't go that way. It does when you point in that way, but not when you point that way.
The knights then turn to run away as Tony looks in the truck and he sees that Mr. Ben is in real bad.
Wish I had one of the fine line pens.
No, he's totally my favorite mailman, and then fires a shot at the knights. The slug pings off.
Found them the other day and they're all dried, so I can't use them no more.
Watch it, you don't hit the horse. You do that, and I'm gonna have to listen to your wailing about involuntarily Tony's side for the next 9 months. And Harley tells him, "Crap, you're right." She begins to help Ben out of the mail truck when he starts to state that they have a package for her today. Special delivery from Arkham. Harley tells him, "Don't worry about that. It's just stuff. All you need to do is hang in there." But as Ben leans his head back, Tony says, "I'm sorry," but he's gone. She looks back up at the fleeing knights and says, "I am going to kill them."
The hair. I'll use a different actual pen for that one.
Later, as Chief Spoonsdale arrives on the scene, he informs the press that they'll be working as hard as ever to.
And as soon as I've gotten over everything, I will rub out all of the pencil because there's no shading on here whatsoever, so I don't really need to keep to any sort of shading areas. I can just literally get rid of it all, but I will colour that pairing with one of these pens here.
Tells Harley, "Excuse me for being human, but there's some things that I'd like to go over with you. We know who these robbers are, but we can't touch them until we have solid proof.
Do we want ripped on the skirt, or do we want it sort of not so much?
Harley says, nobody knows what I'm thinking. Trust me on that one. Spoonsdale goes on to tell her, we've been walking really thin ice on this. One of the band members is the senator's son. Every time that we try and set up a task force, my crew is shut down. What I need is someone like you to blend in with the crowds. That being said, there can be no ties to me or my office. So long as it all remains hush-hush, there will be a reward. Harley tells him to consider it done with a vengeance. And Spoonsdale says that he thinks it's the beginning of a wonderful friendship. Later that night, up in the apartment, Harley calls Tony up to the roof, telling him that she's got an idea of how they can nail these guys. The only thing that she needs to know is, can he play an instrument? Tony tells her, heck yeah, I can. I was the lead guitarist in a few bands, and oh, I see where this is going. And Harley says, that's right, Big T. Now, who else do you know that's musically gifted? As Harley goes back inside, she checks out with the other Harleys. Eggy mentioned that he used to play drums professionally for years before turning to a life of crime. You know, because he's a giant sentient egg. Harley shouts,
Sorry guys, I had to move around for a second there. My phone was going off. I thought I was getting a phone call, but I won't be ringing them back now. And it happens every single time I go live. Somebody gives me a call, it's like, no, I can't answer the call now.
I know what you're thinking, dear viewer. Red Tool is like basically very close to a pool of dead. You're like, I don't know. I can't.
Try a little rip. Try a little bit rip.
TC needed a guy that was kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to put a little bit of rip to it, but not like frayed rip. Just like kind of like the wings ripped.
What happened? Blind date gone bad?
I won't be putting rips in it. I'll just be written like a little bit of fray, rippy edge.
Brett tells her, yeah.
This is very like it's just transparent. This is I don't know how to explain it. Like almost like a lingerie.
Says, what can I say? I'm resourceful and enforceful. And right now we're starting up a band, Red Tool. After a quick,
I'm just going to send a quick Instagram post to everybody because I know I completely forgot to do that.
What do you think about Mohawk? Eggy says that he wishes he had hair. And
so that's why I've got the playlist in the background. So if I do stop or if I don't need to talk, I will. You've got something to listen to.
Rock out. And as she dances around, her towel falls off. Harley stands there naked, looking at everyone, and no one says a word. And she asks, "Really? I'm butt naked and not a single comment?" Red says, I love Brazil." And Harley shouts, "Fine! Everyone get ready, because we got a gig tomorrow. And you all better be rehearsing. If we're going to pull this off, we got to sound like a non-crappy band." The next night, Harley begins to get ready to go on stage, and Tony says that he's a little worried about this. Purple Satin isn't even here, and our 3 songs won't even last 15 minutes. Harley finishes putting on her lipstick, telling him that it's all about stage presence, and then giving him a spectacular spectacle. Once Eggy and Red get the rest of the instruments on stage, Harley checks.
We want ripped, little ripped. And again, is there anything stocking wise? Are they too high? Do you want them a bit lower so they're on the thigh high instead of no, sorry. What's this piece of leg called? I can't remember. But do you want them there or do you want them at the bottom there?
As Harley begins to sing their first set, the crowd begins to boo and throw their beers. Backstage, Purple Satin shows up, and Billy says that the girl's really bombing up there. And Jello laughs, telling him, yeah, she's going to have to step up her game. Out in the crowd, one of the guys yells, "My fans make better music than you!" And Harley tells the band to terminate it. She's got a bone to pick with about everyone here. She looks back at the crowd and pulls one guy up, smacking him, stating, "I want respect and I'm going to have it." She continues beating the man, and the crowd loves it. As she goes on, Red asks, "What's gotten into you?" And when he tells him, "Rock and roll with zero control, my friend," Harley then jumps onto his
rock and roll. No, they look good. Right on, nice one. Again, I'm in the background, sort of making a quick post, guys.
Begins to give a thumbs down and shout 86 the guy. Harley then yells, "Okie dokie, Tulio, your music whacking weapon, please." Red Tool hands over the bass, and Harley jumps off the speaker and a loud splorch can be heard as blood flies into the crowd. Now with the crowd on her side, Harley goes back to rocking out until the set is even over. As they get off stage, Billy stops her, telling her, "Damn."
Okay, that one's sent. Let's get back on to what we were doing.
That better be a compliment. Billy goes on telling her that you and your gang, I've never seen anything like that. I was thinking, why don't you hang around until after the show? We're going to be heading out to a party. Harley says that if she's still here when they're done, they'll know her answer. Billy tells her, fair enough. As Billy and the rest get on stage, Harley changes and Tony asks, "What did you do to the poor guy?" Harley says that they had to convince Purple Satin that they were the real deal. Besides, that guy's running a dogfighting ring. He deserved more than what I gave him. Eggy says, "Yeah, but at the end, why were you throwing animal waste at the audience?" Harley says, "I saw it in a video from the 80s. Plus chimps do it. Everyone loves chimps." Tony then asks, "What now?" And Harley says they're going to load the equipment and skedaddle. Billy Blood wanted her to hang out with the crew. Once she gets to the location of where they are staying, she'll send a text. She'll keep them busy while they search the place for armor and missing packages. As the show wraps up, Billy walks to the bar and sees Harley there asking, "So, you're ready to throw down with us?" Harley tells him, "I'm here, aren't I?" "What did you have in mind?" Jello leans down and Harley notices that she's wearing a pendant made out of soap with the initials J loves H and asks where she got that. Jello asks her, "The heart of soap? A fan made it for me." And Harley says, "Is that right?" Jello hugs on Harley, asking if she likes the smell of it, and Harley tells her, "Only if it's earned." As Harley stares at the soap,
okay, it's a bit dark, but oh well.
Back at Arkham,
it's the pen, not me. That's what inking does.
Ben did say that there was a package from Arkham. Billy drives Harley and Jello, and Harley asks, "So where are we crashing?" "I'm staying over at Seaview." Jello tells her that they're over at the Sheep's Head Inn. Bit of a drive, but they'll probably be spending the night in the city. While Jello tries to kiss Harley's neck, Harley then asks, "Where are the other two?" And Billy says that Buster and Joe got another gig. "But hands off, Jello. She's all mine tonight." Harley snaps that she's the one who decides who she's going to be with. "Now, you might want to tell me where we're going before I drive this car into a bridge." Billy laughs, telling her that they're going underground. Don't worry about a thing. After a little more driving, the group pulls into a shoddy apartment building. As they walk inside, a man asks if they're on the list, and Billy tells them, "Yeah, Billy Blunt." The bouncer looks at the list and says that there's only 1 + 1 and there's 3 of you. Billy leans in close to the bouncer, telling him, "Go ahead and tell Ozzy his best boy is here. Go ahead. Give him a call." Up in the rafters, a portly man in the shadow says, "It's okay. He is one of my boys." The bouncer then opens the elevator and the doors open back up, and Billy says, "Welcome to the Superhero and Supervillain Fetish Club." As the three pass by a Harley Quinn dancer, she tells Harley that she's pretty cute, and Harley says, "Oh no, you're pretty cute." While they make their way towards the back, Billy tells the man dressed as Hawkman to lose the room. They are guests of Oswald. Once they sit in the VIP section, Billy says that it's pretty wild, right? And Harley tells him, "Oh yeah, never seen the real Batman kicking back like that. But is there any other rooms?"
I didn't pull the line, you.
There are so many more. We can go explore them together.
That's what I do
Harley
digitally.
Sure, just let her hit the camera. As Harley leaves, the bouncer tells Billy that the boss would like a word with him. Over in the ladies' room, Harley shows a man in drag how to properly apply lipstick and then ducks away into a stall to check in with Tony. Tony
doing it
says
digitally, just go blip, digital, gone.
Show tonight, but
change it, do it again.
Tony says, "Right. He'll make sure that it's just
Right,
like
so that's the main part of the body done. Legs and body sort of shape, hand, face will be done now. Then we've got the tail, the other hands that are reaching out, and then the wings and horns and things.
Feels like they're being watched, and then there's a loud kaboom as a car crashes into the road. Joe leans out of the truck, stating that he knew putting those cameras in here would pay off. And to think I like these guys. Buster says they need to hurry and start cleaning up. They'll hit up Billy and Jello once things are clear. Back in the club bathroom, Harley begins putting on her lipstick, and Jello walks in asking if she's got some. Harley asks her, "Lipstick?" And Jello grabs her from behind, stating, "You're funny. I went ahead and got us a room." But over with Billy, the bouncer pushes him in, and just as Billy tells him to wait, the man before tells him to have a seat. The man turns, and it's Oswald Cobblepot, the Penguin, asking, "What made you think bringing Harley Quinn into my exclusive club was a good idea?" Billy asks, "What are you talking about? I didn't bring Harley." And Oswald says, "That mohawk-crested cockatoo bird is Harley. She's changed since she left Gotham. I already have word from the people high up that her and the new chief of police are all buddy-buddy. When I hired your group, it was the innocent packages from mail trucks. I got what I needed and I moved on. So why are you still hitting them?" Billy says, "Well, it turned out to be a lot more fun wearing armor and riding horses. After the first hit, we figured, why not just keep doing it?" Oswald smacks the papers off of his desk with his cane, shouting, "Because that's what made you sloppy and now on everyone's radar. Even worse, you're here with that nutcase Harley. So as of right now, the operation is shut down. Now go find Harley, or whatever she's calling herself, and dispose of her. She's the worst kind of trouble we don't need here." Back with Harley, Jello leads her down a set of stairs where a woman dressed as Two-Face is standing watch. She says password or no entry, and Jello tells her Arkham.
I'm glad you like her. I enjoyed doing this one as well. A lot better than I did with Lily. I think it's because I was the face.
Elsewhere, Tony begins to wake up asking, "Where are we?"
I sort of took a look at other people's YouTube and sort of learned how to do a little bit more on the face because it really bugged me that I couldn't do it.
Joe then pets the horse, stating, "That's a good girl, Trixie." Buster says, "I couldn't have thought of a better way to wake them up. So what's the deal robbing our place, like completely not respectful to fellow musicians?" Red says, okay. Buster, we know that you write all the music and Joe with all of the arrangements that you come up with. Buster says, "Wait, you came to steal our grooves? Dude, that's screwed up. Flattery, but screwed up. All you had to do was approach us. We would have written a few lines for you. Now you know all about the stuff we were talking."
Do you want to put anything particular on the end of the tail? Otherwise, it's just going to be a pointy tail, like a general demon.
burst out laughing, stating, "That's awesome! You guys are so hardcore! You should come over. We got cold pizza and whiskey." Back at the club, Harley begins looking in some of the Arkham cells, seeing all of the people hitting one another, and says, "Man, does that look like a boot?" Just then, Billy walks up, telling her, "Glad to hear. The owner arranged for us to have a special room all to ourselves." Billy leads her in, and he points at a tank, and he says that there it is. "The isolation tank. Go ahead and get in." She tells him, "No way, that's not happening." And Billy
The tail's only got a
"You don't
what's
have
it
a choice,
called?
Harley Quinn." He then takes out a gun and holds
Triangle.
it to Harley's head, telling her, "You get in, or you're dead where you stand." Harley quickly elbows Billy in the face, but before she can escape, Jello tackles her to the ground. Harley kicks Jello's legs out from under her, and Billy kicks her out of the room. Billy then chases after her, pushing into the crowd.
I want to go black and red with her. Yeah, we said that yesterday, didn't we?
Billy tells Jello that they need to hurry.
I got a nice red there.
But just as Billy pulls Jello up the stairs, Oswald walks
Is the
out
skin
and
gonna be
asks,
red?
"Where do you think you're going?" Harley calls Tony to let him know what's going on, but Tony tells her, we got things covered. Apparently, Aggie holds his liquor very well. 3 gunshots then go off, and Harley looks back to see Oswald standing over Billy and Jello's bodies with a smoking gun. He tells her that hairdo is quite a hairdo. Harley shouts, "And these two are deader than dinosaurs. What's that got to do with you?" Oswald shouts, "I own the place. These two were in violation of club etiquette." Harley runs up.
Okay, go and get your coffee. I'm going to be here for a while.
And Oswald asks, "Spoon, who's Jack Bell?" "He's a customer for me from time to time, but I've already called him." A little while later, after the police arrive, Spoonsdale tells Harley that he heard about what happened to Billy and Jello. They're going to have one very upset senator. Harley says that she didn't do it, but this isn't done yet. She's got another scene that he needs to be at. As the two get into the car, Harley says that she's got to know. Him and Cobblepot, Spoondale says that part of his job is spinning a lot of plates. She might not like it, but it's a part of what makes this city tick. However, keeping the relationship in good standings is more important. So just say the word and he can shut the club down. As the two get out, she tells him, "It's nice to know that you would, but people need a place to blow steam, even if it's owned by him." Spoondale says, "Done. But why are we at a warehouse?" Harley points at all of the stolen packages and says, "Evidence. Boatloads of it. My guys found it wherever they are." Suddenly, Red shouts, asking, "Is that her?" And Tony walks up, stating, "Hey, Harley, Chief." Behind them, Red, Buster, Joe, and Eggie are all passed out drunk. And Red shouts, "Eggie is one pickled egg." Spoonsdale looks back and sees Harley holding the carved-out heart and asks what that is. And Harley says that it's a reminder she grabbed before leaving the club. Sometimes, no matter how hard you scrub, having a fresh start ain't as easy as it seems. There you go. Harley Quinn's a little zany. She's a little kooky. She's not the Addams Family, but she has a lot of things.
Red, but it could be purple.
Which does lead to
Then again, if I use purple, I could use purple on the corset.
Then subscribe to the channel and let me know in the comments down
and
below.
black on the pants
Harley Quinn,
and red on the skin. How do you think about that?
It's kind of a mixed bag. Some people like her, some people don't. I don't really know how much of an audience on this channel wants Harley Quinn. So just let me know. Literally go,
A bit of detail
Benny,
here.
I'm copying what you're saying. Your hair is stupid and you're kind of fat, but I want Harley Quinn DC Rebirth. If you word it like that, then I'll take it as a vote for Harley Quinn Rebirth. And I'm also helping the trolls. That way we can just have everyone troll me at the same time. Makes me feel really good about myself because you're talking about me and my ego is huge. Anyway, I'm on Twitter at Comic Storian, Instagram at Comic Storian, and I'll see you next time.
Write that down for me because I'm pretty much sure I'm going to forget that.
Enjoy hell. Hey, you hooty cats. Today we're going to be covering Harley Quinn because it's Valentine's Day, and I couldn't think of any other fun storyline except
red for the skin, purple for corset,
storyline,
and then
Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy.
Black pants, and maybe I don't know what shading for the. Because I use pencil, obviously the shade over that. Actually, I probably wouldn't even need to. No, I'll have to use black pencil for the pants as well because obviously I want to get a good shading sort of thing over that part of her. Kind of basically what I did there.
When she found out that she had received a package from Arkham containing a carved bar of soap with the initials.
And again, her face could be whited out.
Though she brought the man down, she was still feeling as if something was missing from her life. She wasn't quite sure what to do next. It was a peaceful night as Harley sleeps in her bed when suddenly Eggie runs in shouting that the animals have escaped into the night. Startled, she instinctively grabs a knife and throws it at Eggie, breaking a shell and spilling his yolk everywhere. In the current time at Frank's shop, Harley tells Frank that that's when she woke up. So what you make of that? Frank tells her two things. First, don't go to sleep hungry. And second, it's a frustration dream at its core. Runaway animals unwillingly stabbing a friend, it all means that life isn't going the way that she wants it to. She reaches for a slice of pizza, stating, well, actually, things are a bit crazy. Frank grabs her hand, telling her, nuh-uh, that's mine. You want a dream analysis, and the payment was a full pie and a stick. If you want a piece of that,
okay, right, done the face, done the horns, done the whole figure, done the hands, done the tail, done the legs in that area.
And Frank said,
I think it's all that's left
kind of animal do you
now
Frankly, I'm
is to do the actual hands reaching out and the wings on the side.
So what better place to go with their BFF Poison Ivy?
Do you like that again? Do you like the wings the way they are, or do you want to change them to bat wings, or dragon back type things, scaly ones, whatever?
As Harley and Ivy jump into the car,
I'm gonna do the hands here now. I really enjoyed drawing the hands yesterday. I know I said to you I wanted to do a close-up image, but sort of I didn't. But, I wanted to give something more than just a figure, because we've been doing quite a lot of figures lately.
David says that it's for privacy and to keep the locals out. Ivy looks at all of the trees and says that she's expecting Tarzan to come swinging out of the trees at any minute. And just when the girls get out of the car, and before Harley can make yet another joke, Cy comes out on his scooter, nude. Harley shouts, asking, what happened to your clothes? And Ivy tries covering her eyes, stating that she's pretty sure that she just saw what Tarzan uses to swing on. Cy tells them, relax, the colony is a nudist colony. It's a wonderful environment dedicated to relaxation and renewal. It's liberating in so many ways. Harley laughs and tells Ivy, well, Buttercup, I'm up for whatever you are. Ivy says Cy did mention that it was liberating in a wholesome environment, so she guesses that it's okay. Cy leads the girls to the tennis court where Xena is playing tennis, nude. As Xena bends down to pick up the tennis ball, she says that these balls need to be put in their proper place, and they can go eat. The girls gag, and Harley says that she can't even... Later at the cafe, and a nice lunch of red snapper, Harley asks if they got any dessert coming. Cy tells her, well, I guess they do. Sponge cake with raisins, commonly known as spotted dip. And before he could finish stating that, Harley belches, stating, just kill me now. Seriously, just grab a fork and end it. Later, as the girls are getting settled in their room, Harley unpacks and says 2 small beds. It's just like she's home with her parents all over again. And Ivy asks, like her naked parents, are you really bothered by all of this? Harley tells her that she really doesn't care about the nudity. It's just that when you know someone is fully clothed, the nakedness just takes some getting used to. Ivy laughs, telling her, well, Cy is quite blessed, and Xena could use some more bionic parts that should be encased in more metal, but I get it. Now, if I saw Batman naked, well, the girls picture all the bat-themed things that Batman would have under his suit. They decide that they just need to hit the beach and relax for a bit. As Harley plays with pool noodles and makes plenty of inappropriate jokes, Ivy says that people never really appreciate the sunset like they should. All the pollution and overpopulation, just so many things wrong in the world. Harley looks out and says, yeah, but I read that the post-apocalyptic sunsets are going to be something else. Ivy gives a lighthearted laugh and says, going from a stunning sunset to a post-apocalyptic disaster, that's my girl. But actually, there's something that I wanted to ask you. Back in the plane, you talked about your undercover thing. And then you said that there was something else before you trailed off. What was it? Harley sits back and says, actually, it was a package from Mr. J. Inside was a bar of soap that he engraved. At first, I thought it was probably a joke, but then a second package came with one of my evaluation sheets. And Ivy asks, what significance could that have had if it was a joke? And Harley tells her that it was one of the original sheets that she wrote for the warden at the time. As the stars come out, Ivy drinks her wine, stating it was probably just someone from Arkham offices trying to mess with her. And Harley says, sure, if it wasn't for the fact that it had some stuff written on it, like intimate details. Harley then leans in, telling Ivy she doesn't want to talk about it. She'd like to make a new and better intimate memory. Just then, someone yells, get a room, and all of the seniors jump into the pool. Everyone begins to play volleyball. Just as things begin to get heated, Harley takes a break and takes a nap in the chair. As everyone leaves,
one hand
takes her out to the beach where the two can spend the night sleeping by the
here, maybe.
Waves. And as the weeks fly by, the girls start packing up, and Harley asks Ivy if she ever thought about, what she said last time. Ivy moving in with Harley. Ivy tells her yes, a lot actually. In a perfect world, she would love to do that. The world's not perfect. They have to be honest about that. She loves her and always wants to be with her, but her first love is a giant, time-consuming cause that, believe it or not, is needier than Harley. Harley gets up and walks over to the balcony side, stating that she really thought that this trip would change Ivy's mind. Ivy tells her it has, actually. Being with her this past week has shown her how hoping for the me time should come sooner than later. While Ivy hugs Harley, Harley says that she remembers why she isn't that crazy about vacations. They always have an end. Soon the girls say their goodbyes to the colonists and then to each other. As Harley
You didn't know, guys, that Harley Quinn and Ivy are an item now in the comics.
And there you have it, you crazy cool cats out there. I hope you guys enjoyed that story.
Fell in love a couple episodes ago.
They know that Poison Ivy loves her. She loves nature more. Don't forget to check out more Harley Quinn right now. And you can check out some other stuff down below. On the screens, probably on our Patreons. Those cool guys and crazy cats. Those are the ones that are helping us through the problematic era here at YouTube. Hope to see you later. I'm going to go now have a nice little hot tea and a crumpet. And I'm going to do some late night.
Yeah, problem area since really PewDiePie.
Yeah.
Not then. Oh, right then. I think that's pretty much the hands. So now you got the hands stretching out to her as it's tempting them in to sort of come hither, sort of thing. So she's going do, and they're going, oh yes, please.
Joker and Harley Quinn have a very, very weird relationship, and she's already met up with him in the Harley Quinn Rebirth run. Well, what if the Joker goes to Coney Island to meet up with her? That's today's story. The Joker comes looking for Harley Quinn.
Your son might be watching. You think this is not a bit too risque for if he is? Hi, how you doing, mate? Oh, wait, hang on. Which one? The young one. This is definitely risque for that one.
After her last adventure of insanity, Harley Quinn returned to her apartment to find the Joker standing. Hello, kiddo.
Oh, which one? You got? How many sons do you have? I know I saw 2 of them already.
She was finally done with. Joker.
Oh, 17. Okay, he's pretty much ready for this then. But how you doing, mate?
Through the front door. How else?
I'm Bleak 084.
He gets up from the bed, looking out at the amusement park, telling her, I can see why you chose to live here. The view is amazing. She pulls out her knife, telling the Joker that he has 1 minute to explain why he's even here. The Joker says, there's no need for that. I'm here for a civil conversation. She pushes the knife closer to the Joker's chin. She said all she had to say at Arkham, there's no reason for him to be here. He tells her, I can see that it's surprising that I've showed up in your safe place. How about we make some plans to have a public discussion about our future? He begins walking away, pushing the knife away with his finger, asking how about tomorrow at noon on the boardwalk by that lovely aquarium. Plenty of people around with a nice view of the ocean. It'll set just the right mood. But I promise, no funny stuff this time. Just you and me having a conversation. She says that she finds that really hard to believe, and Joker walks out the door telling her, I'll be waiting, and if not, no hard feelings, toodaloo. But just outside of the apartment, Red Tool gets ready to go inside when he sees the Joker walk out and asks, isn't he? Joker tells him, yes I am. Do you want an autograph? Who are you supposed to be anyway? Red says that he's a good friend of Harley's, and wait a minute, if you touch a single hair on her head, she's going
I like the ink version better, but again, I always do. That's why I always ink it.
Red then runs inside.
This pencil doesn't always do its justice. The ink does give it more of a pop, and brings it out of the page.
If you're talking about the Joker, well, it was a little weird seeing him, but he wanted to meet with me tomorrow at the aquarium to talk. Maybe it's a trap, but if he wanted to do something bad, well, he had a chance. He saw how upset.
You get really sharp edges as well, and you can see those sharp edges. I'll give you a close-up in a moment before I take all the pencil off.
Just what you need.
Like I did the hair first before I do that.
She looks down at him and his banana hammock and bursts out laughing. So
Banana hammock.
I needed a good laugh. But seriously, we should go break those chains down in Madame Macabre's wax museum. As Harley grabs her backpack, Red asks if it's a bag full of hand grenades. She shouts, you bet your bikini beanie it is! Later, as the two go down into the underground tunnel, they reach the room with all of the sealed doors. Harley says that she needs to find out what's behind that one with the chains. How many grenades should it take to open it? And Red tells her, probably just 2. After setting up 14, Red says, watch this, and he throws a screwdriver at one of the grenade's pins, and as the screwdriver falls, it pulls the pin out. There's a loud boom, and Harley says that was awesome! And Red looks down the hallway, telling her, great, more tunnel, and it goes down even further underground. Just great. They then hear a faint, sharp flop, and Harley asks, is that a drooling horse galloping sound? The two begin walking down the tunnel, and Red says, yeah, sure, maybe we shouldn't go down there? There's normally a reason people lock doors. However, the further that they go, the louder the sound gets, and suddenly tentacles reach out, taking Red Tool. Harley shouts, "Uh-oh!" and she begins to run down the tunnel, calling out for Red. As she turns the corner, she sees a giant fleshy monster, whom the tentacles belong to. The monster roars at Harley, and it reaches its tentacles towards her, so she quickly ties the fleshy arms into a knot. She then quickly jumps, shouting to Red to reach for her hand, and she thrusts her arm out, grabbing him and pulling him out of the monster. He begins to pant, telling her, another second in there and I would have suffocated. And Harley tells him, yeah, you're welcome, but we need to run now. She begins to pull the pins on the last remaining grenades, throwing them into the monster's mouth as it tries to bite down on them. The explosions throw the two of them out of the tunnel and back into a room full of doors, where Red says that they should really board that door up on the way back out. Harley asks him why. They've already grenaded the big goober. She needs to hurry and get some sleep. Can't go seeing Mr. J with no sleep. So she heads back to her room to set her alarm, and as she sleeps, someone takes her alarm clock.
Hey, right.
Sitting on a bench at the boardwalk.
Right, before I get rid of all the pencil shapes and shading, I'll show you guys a quick close-up.
Red tells him, I really, really want you to go away. Permanently. The Joker looks at Red Tool, telling him, make me. Red, last I heard, you and Harley weren't exactly on good terms.
So we've gone down all the wings and the hair and the horns now.
I don't have to talk to you.
On that face, we'll do that hair in a moment.
You either answer me or
and the hands and the corset.
Wait, Harley didn't send
the legs and the pants. All sorted out. I've just noticed I've got to do a bit more on those fishnets, but other than that, I think we're done on the inking.
Why did you come here anyway? Harley would never send anyone to speak for her. Did you drug her? Is that it? Are you drugging innocent women? Red Tool knocks Joker back and he runs up, kicks him in the stomach, launching him onto the beach. He jumps back up, throwing on the Joker, telling him, come on.
Probably the camera, give me a sec. Alright, yeah, it's back on. Let's go put that back where it was.
Harley begins to wake up, asking, what time is it? She grabs her clock and realizes the clock is way off, and her meeting with Mr. J is right now, and she smells like an onion's ass. After taking a much-needed shower, she runs down to the boardwalk, looking for the Joker when she hears shouting coming from the beach. She runs over and looks at Red Tool punching the Joker.
Trying to get your coffee.
Pull him off, asking, what the hell do you think you're doing? Red punches again, telling her, I'm finished.
I've had my coffee already. Got a cup of tea here.
Harley rips Red off
Favorite
of
mug.
the Joker and tells him to get out of here. You're on a month's probation from seeing me. Also, you better be writing a brilliant apology. As Red walks off,
Okay,
Harley
I'm going black with the hair, so find my black.
Out of him in her own way. A short while later, Harley has Tony help tie Joker up in the kitchen, and as he finishes,
shading on the hair is going to be a bit difficult. Do's and don'ts of potty training. That's not what we want to hear.
Always carry a change of clothes to
Harley pushes him and Eggy out, telling them the short
if you're a dumbass and don't know how to get a child to sit on the toilet, then you should have one.
The Joker pops his head up, shouting, "Boo!" Harley screams, asking what the hell does he want and why did he fight back against Red Tool? Joker says that he needed to prove to her that he's changed. He's recently been reflecting on all of the horrible things that he's done to her, and he wanted to make it up to her. People change, Harley. She tells him that's true, but not him. He's the Joker. She gets up asking, do you remember the last time that we spoke? That I
tea, proper tea as well. None of this herbal crap. Alright, hair.
Grenade to the gobbler, multiple gunshot wounds that let you bleed out, or a mallet to the head. He asks, let me prove to you.
Where's start? Where's start?
She blindfolds the Joker and pulls out a signboard and begins to write.
Give me a second.
A short while later, in the street.
Give me a second. I need
and Harley asks if any of the people here in Brooklyn
to take a picture of this
Joker says
with my tablet. Because I've got to take this over to the digitizing stage later. I'm actually listening to the music or the playlist with my tablet, which is why it's just gone quiet. So go, bear with me, guys. Take a look at it. Let me know what you think. While I quickly take a picture of this. Again, guys, if you want to see What happened to my thing? If you want to see this digitized, check back tomorrow. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Definitely hit that bell so you know when I've gone live or when I've uploaded. Just quickly show you what it is like on the digital format. Get. Like that. No, that's not even the right image. Yeah, it's all now inked now, all ready for doing some Copic colouring. Bit of pencil for different areas and other things. Let's get that playlist going again. Well, again, guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. My name is Blue084. Hit that bell, and tomorrow we will be not blah. Sorry, this playlist is playing up. We will be going over to my free app Critter and digitizing this one like we have in every other video. If you want to see how I do all my inking and all of the other digitized sections, don't forget you can go over there. Sorry, scroll down and you can see what else I've been getting up to. Oh, great. That's awesome, that.
He's like, Joker wakes up asking, what's going on? And then he notices himself strapped to a garbage catapult on Harley's roof. He looks up and sees Harley.
Give me a second, guys.
And Harley tells him, don't call me that. Don't
The
to answer my question.
stereo is just bugged out.
Down onto the
So I'll unplug that one
telling
quickly.
him, you better think long and hard before answering this one. Just who in the flaming hot outhouses are you? Joker tells her, I don't understand. Who else could I be? And Harley begins pouring birdseed covered in honey on the Joker, telling him, I'm going to ask again, who are you? Joker tells her, your main man, of course. And Harley tells him, you had your chance. And then whistles. A swarm of parrots come flying down and they begin to peck away at the Joker. And he asks, are you seriously kidding me right now? Harley says, if you're really who you're pretending to be, then you wouldn't even be asking that question. She takes out her phone and begins recording, stating that she's so going to get a million hits on YouTube. And the last of the birdseed is eaten. Joker laughs. It didn't break the skin. Telling him no, that's her job. And she begins to cut into the Joker's stuff.
It's a really old stereo, and it's occasionally the fuse blows a little bit.
Also, let me sterilize that.
But like I was saying, let's get on with the Copic colouring now. We're using fine line Copic colours. As you see, they're a brush pen, and they are really, really good. They're the cheaper end of the versions that you can get for Copic colours. But I've got some more on order, and they should be coming as soon as possible. I need some more shading, really, because a lot of these are really dark. It's not always handy to have dark colours. I do need lighter colours as well.
Harley sits with a bucket of popcorn, telling him, all right, don't leave out a single juicy detail. The Joker begins to speak and tells him,
but if you're a fan of painting, these come really handy with the brush pens.
For a year or so, I've been living in the Birchville Medical Center in West Bay. We've met before, but you don't remember me. I was wearing a police uniform, and you accompanied me back to my place, and you gave me a rather big, beautiful, comfy, gilded birdcage. Harley says, wait, you're that Ed under there? I thought you were supposed to be getting some serious psychoanalyzing. Edwin says, that's right. You made a deal with me. You told me that if I gave myself up, you would come visit me, and we were supposed to have a lunch date when I got better. You also said that you would never break your promise, but you did. So instead of getting medical attention from the nice lady, I went for Dr. Johnson. And one day, they gave me some responsibilities, and I became the foreman for the mailroom. However, while sorting the mail, I found a package that was coming from Gotham for someone in the hospital, a fellow patient. That's when I realized the package was from the Joker himself, and so I wrote to him. I wrote all about myself and my encounters with you. And
don't be doing that to me, playlist.
To my surprise, the Joker.
Nobody wants to hear that. So give me a second.
Fast friend. And he even suggested how I could get together with him.
As soon as I get up.
Stealing an officer's uniform.
And I'll sit back down. And I'll start again.
After that, the Joker explained that I could just be like him.
Right.
Up to, I could literally become the Joker. And once the surgery was done, I jumped into the chemicals that would bleach my skin. And I even went on a one-man crime spree. I blew up the office building in downtown Gotham. And now, here we are. Harley walks up to the stage with a gun, telling him, yep, so here we are. I almost felt bad for you. But you became pen pals with the Joker. Huge mistake on your part. He didn't help you out of the kindness of his heart. He did it to mess with you, and as a bonus, mess with me in the process. I was with the Joker. I would have found out about this secret sooner or later. How could you have been so stupid? You were just a tool. And Edwin begins to tell her, I never thought about it like that. Harley tells him, yeah, that's your problem. You played a dangerous game. And like all games, there's a loser. She lifts her gun and then fires straight into Edwin's head as his body hits the floor. She looks back and tells Tony to do her a favor and clean this up. Tomorrow morning, he's going to hit the books and pay the bills. Everyone else get back to work. The less said about this whole thing, the better. Good night. As she leaves, Red Tool asks if she's going to be okay, and Tony tells them, depends on your definition of okay. She'll probably spend an hour with the pets and eat about 5 pizzas. After that, she'll be as happy as a kitten in the yarn factory. Or not. She's anything but predictable. And there you have it. The Joker has the ability to mess with Harley Quinn and not even be a part of her life. Not even actually be there. Just mess with other individuals to mess with Harley Quinn. If you guys like this, give this video a like so that I know you want more Harley Quinn videos. And don't forget to give me a comment down below about what you think about the Joker and Harley Quinn relationship. Should they get back together, or are you like me, enjoying Harley Quinn off on her own as her own character?
What do you think, guys? Reckon they should get back together, or should Harley Quinn stay with her new love interest, which is Ivy, Poison Ivy?
Your dad was working with Oscar Espinosa back in the day. What did you find? Surveillance footage. Your dad's name is just like old times. Here you go.
Sorry about that happening in the background. I can't be bothered to get up. I'm gonna have to because of the fucking music.
Talk. Fairer broadband for everyone.
Shut up, adverts. I was into it. I was in the zone.
I take great paper bags with single issues and I break them down into digestible bites to help you understand before turning it into a motion comic experience so that you can get a better vibe of your favorite books so you can go buy one right now. Today we're going to be covering the continuation of the storyline of Harley Quinn. This is a out of continuity, but
if you have trouble reading, guys, definitely go and get a comic because they can teach you the basics from reading, and you get to look at a picture at the same time. But if you're like me and you like to draw, after you've finished reading your book or you finish reading your comic, you can obviously do a doodle for yourself. This is how I learned how to draw, was by looking at comics, learning to read out of the little captions, and sort of taking a picture that I liked and sort of trying to copy it.
But as it turned out, this Joker's real name was Edwin, and he was sent by the actual Joker to play a trick on Harley.
Okay, so we can do
after learning the truth, Harley didn't really
hand
care
color
what
in this.
Edwin had to say for himself, and she shot him, telling him that the Joker just played him.
It's not a bad color.
The ultimate price. Now in the busy streets of New York, Harley and the leader of the Harley gang, who also happens to be named Harley, take off on their newly acquired Harley. Gang leader Harley says that since the guy from their last job didn't pay them in full, they gave them a motorcycle to balance it out. And Harley tells her that that's nice and all, but they got mortgages to pay. They're going to need to start chasing some cash-heavy clients. As the two pull up to Harley's apartment building, gang leader Harley asks, are they going to keep it or sell it? And Harley tells her that they're going to have to sell it. Tony says it's too bad, the bike's a classic. Maybe she could give it to her loyal best buddy. And just as Harley tells them that they can't, there's a loud crash as the windows of the apartment building are blown out. Everyone spins around to see a group of green ant-like creatures climbing out holding what looks like a giant cocoon. They speak to each other in their own language, and Harley shouts, "Oh my God, cooties!" Gang leader Harley yells, "Ew, where did they even come from?" And Harley asks, "Remember that door in the subbase?"
You know what? I might leave that ever so slightly
so she's gonna take a guess
not coloured in.
He didn't do a very good job.
I kind of like that sort of
they start to
ghostly
hold the cocoon up to the
white
sun.
skin.
Harley says that they're not liking where this is going.
What do you think, guys?
But as Harley takes a step forward, one of the ants shocks her. Tony grabs a trash can, and
Just
before
a
he can
hint
throw
of
it, he too is
something
shot.
there.
The gang leader then grabs the two and then starts to run, with Harley asking, "Where are you going? That shock wasn't entirely unpleasant." A few moments later at Sal's shoe repair store, gang leader Harley sets everyone down and asks if they're going to be okay. Harley tells her no. She's pissed now, and she walks into the store asking Sal if he's got any weapons that she can use. Sal says that he just finished up on her boots, and she shouts, "Sal, focus!" He holds up a bat and an axe, stating that the good stuff is in the back, but this should hold her over for a bit. She takes the axe, runs back outside, and as she gets to her building, she chucks the axe into one of the ant creature's heads. The other ants stop to see what's going on, and they look at her, and Harley tells them, "This is what happens when you randomly attack people. Now what the hell is going on?" One of the ants says, "This is the end for you and your kind. Soon Zorkler will be free." Harley asks, "Now you want to speak English? And you're threatening all of mankind. I am so not happy right now." Seconds later, the cocoon breaks open and a large, pale-skinned and naked man stands up stating, "I am free! Zorkrum is free! You have served me well, my disciples." The ants run and kneel before Zorkrum, yelling, "We worship the ground that he walks on! We live to serve!" Zorkrum lifts his foot up, stating, "Good. Now the time for you to meet the gods has come!" And he begins to crush the ants' heads. The gang leader shouts, "Ew," and Harley says, "Hey, wait a minute! I can see your missus must be very disappointed." Tony asks, "Really? That's what got your attention? Not the fact that he just killed one of his followers." Zorkrum begins killing the other ants, telling them that he thanks them for their service, and they will all soon meet the god. Two of the ants begin to run away, shouting that they want to live! But before they can get far, Zorkrum uses his laser vision to tear down the giant shoe sign in front of Sal's to kill them. Tony says, "Man, ants got it rough all over the place." And finally, the cops show up. A few officers jump out of their cars, shouting to Zorkrum, telling him to get on the ground. He holds out his hand and begins to lift the officers in the air, asking, "How dare you bark orders at me?" One of the officers manages to fire his gun, but as the bullet hits Zorkrum in the face, it just bounces off. Zorkrum tells the officers that they will pay with their contemptuous.
I've just seen a thing on my phone
Suddenly,
from
wind
parents,
begins to blow around the officers,
school
and they
parent
all
thing. My son
explode.
hasn't been
Harley
giving
yells
me
at Zorkrum,
letters
asking,
again because he's
"What
got
did you
art
do?"
trips he could go
Zorkrum looks at
on.
her, asking,
Tut,
"Where
tut,
am
tut,
I?"
tut,
This
tut.
is not Strata.
Yes, he's
Harley
going
tells
on a
us
art
you're
trip.
in Brooklyn. You might want to cover up your dangling, bits. There's kids around here. Zorkrum looks around, stating, "I'm on the surface of the planet. The luminant orb, it renders me more powerful by the second. I could return to Strata for my revenge, but this world is rather curious. Where is your leader? I shall demand the surrender of this world and annihilate said leader." Harley pauses for a moment and then points down the street, stating, "The latest guy is in Washington, D.C. You might want to talk to him. Just head that way, and when you see a big old White House, you can't miss it." As Zorkrum turns to leave, Tony asks, "What did you do?" "He's gonna go kill the president." Harley tells him, "Hey, if Zorkrum stays here, we're all dead. You saw what happened to those policemen. Besides, the way he's heading, he'll never find the White House. The guy doesn't even have pants on." Zorkrum looks back, stating, "If I find that you are untruthful, I will come back and slowly turn you inside out." 20 minutes later, on top of Harley's apartment building, everyone watches as Zorkrum destroys parts of New York. And Harley says, "Okay, maybe we don't have a chance." Eggy then asks, "Why don't you call the superheroes? You know a few of them, right?" And Harley tells him it doesn't really work like that. She once called that Power Girl's name in the shower, and she never showed up. Maybe she caused this. But now it's time for someone else to clean up her mess. A voice then asks, "You're the one who did this?" And Harley asks who's there. And a woman with black hair floats down onto a piece of pavement stating that she did. Her name is Atlee from Strata, and she is here to try and clean up what she started. Harley yells, "Perfect timing!" "Wait, Atlee? The Atlee? Like the name on the door next to the one that I blew up?" Atlee says, "Why would you open that door?" And Harley says, "I thought there'd be treasure behind it. The door with your name clearly marked. The other one, not so much." Atlee then asks, "Really? All the chains weren't enough of a message not to open it?"
Okay, I'm not going to do any more to that because I like that.
"I will do my best to stop Zorkrum, but you are coming with me." Harley shouts, "All right, let me get my superhero
If
costume."
I do any more to that in me, I might go back to my pencils, but I kind of like that the way it is.
Harley looks around, stating that she can't really see anything from up here. Just then, Zorkrum appears behind them, stating, "Hello." Harley sighs, stating, Zorkrap." Seconds later, both Harley and Atlee are thrown into the wall, and Harley asks, "Oh, how did you beat him last time?" And Atlee tells her it wasn't just her, it was her and four of Strata's greatest protectors. Harley says, "Yeah, you might want to call them." Zorkrum then floats down into the alleyway, telling Atlee that before he destroys her, he will have her know that once he takes over the surface world, he will move on to Strata. Their death will be music to my ears. And Harley asks, "Wait, have you never heard real music before? Like no awesome guitar riffs or anything?" Zorkrum tells her, "Enough of this. Prepare to die." And Harley shouts, "Wait! Does that mean that I need to prepare a will or something? Maybe I should delete my browser history." Zorkrum stops for a moment and then says, "The white one fascinates me." And Harley says, "Really? Okay then, humor me. Why would you want to take over the world? You haven't seen anything in it yet, only Brooklyn. If you go take over New Jersey, how would you know what's going on in China? More importantly, who wants that responsibility?" Just then the ground shoots up, opening around Zorkrum and trapping him with an egg. Zorkrum shouts, "You insolent Stratton! Your manipulating powers can only go so far." Atlee sighs, stating that he's right, and Harley says, "Why doesn't she just find someone to help? If he thinks she's fascinating, maybe she can slow him down." Atlee thinks about it for a moment and then says, "Okay, She knows someone who can help. Just be careful. Before she leaves, Zorkrum breaks out of the dark prison yelling, "See! No match for my power! Time to die at!" Really? Harley tells him, yeah, she kind of skipped out. She knew how much she was no match for your manly powers. But hey, before wrecking the rest of the world, how about I bring you up to date with the whole wide world? Make it a little easier to rule. If you're going to make everyone a slave or kill them, why not take my rainbow? Give you a bit of an advantage. Zorkrum tells her that there is wisdom to her words.
You're
There
a
is much
dumbass.
that you
I'll leave
don't
that.
know about the service world. Before stripping the skin from your bones, you will tell. Harley says, all right, but first, we're going to have to get out of here. Central Park is a nice place to sit and talk, but unlike you, I can't fly, so you're going to need to give me a ride. Plus, you're going to need to get some paint, because, well, people will take...
Running to
Adverts!
when you hear about Red Dead Redemption 2
Yeah,
Ultimate
yeah,
Edition
Red Dead,
with
blah, blah,
exclusive
blah, 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 blah.
Take you more seriously. After a short flight...
Played the first one, haven't played the second one. Thoughts on the second one?
Why do people wear these
Any of them?
hats?
Leave them below and
Harley
below.
tells him to cover his junk. Also, pockets are pretty useful for carrying stuff. So what is it?
I'm going to take another quick picture before I go any further for Instagram, so bear with me, guys.
Big picture. Zorkrum tells him, after the world surrenders, I will make everyone worship me and do my bidding. So Harley tells him, okay, let's break that down. First off, there are tons of leaders that all don't speak the same language. Do you know that there are over 6,500 languages? How many do you know? Zorkrum tells him that he only knows this one and a few others. Harley then says, okay, so you're gonna need a translator. Humans have a weird thing about becoming slaves, so that's not gonna be easy. Harley looks over and sees a hot dog cart and tells him, hang on a minute, I'm gonna get her some food. She gets up, runs over to the hot dog cart, stating that she needs 6 dogs with the works. The man asks if she's a superhero, and she says, yeah. Does that come with a discount? And the man tells her no. Harley pulls money from her, well, opening above her butt, stating that it's good to have butt money. And a few moments later, Zorkrum bites into his hot dog, stating, these are superb! And Harley tells him, see, if you kill everyone, how would you get these delicacies?
What do you think, guys? Where do you think I should go next? What colours? Do you reckon I should just hint the red and then shade it in with pencil like I normally do?
Friends and families and a whole bunch of stuff. So he tells her, okay, you will be kept so you can work out all the details. And Harley asks, like a queen? And Zorkrum tells her, I will let you live to be on my council. As they talk, a rabid squirrel runs up and Zorkrum asks, what is this lesser to you? And Harley says that they are mostly harmless, but this one looks a bit, well, hey, the squirrel's hungry. Maybe you should give him a part of your weenie. Zorkrum breaks up a piece of his hot dog and he holds it out. And as the squirrel goes to eat it, it bites onto Zorkrum's finger, tearing it open. He smacks the squirrel into the sky, shouting, away, you foul beast. And then he looks at his finger, stating, I am now bleeding. Harley asks, seriously? You got shot in the face and didn't flinch, but you get bit by a squirrel and there's blood everywhere? Meanwhile, above the city, Atlee and Power Girl fly down, and Atlee says that her new friend Harley has taken care of Zorkrum at the moment. Power Girl asks, does Harley, her last name wouldn't be Quinn, would it? And Atlee says, yes! Do you know her? Power Girl sighs, stating,
Yeah, shall I use this red here to do this? We're doing red, aren't we, Nicole? For skin?
She grabs it, asking who would throw a rabbit squirrel, and Atlee bursts out laughing. She then says the
I could do it in pencil and then go over it again in
drop this off at the animal control and take
red.
A short while later, Atlee and Power Girl head
Yeah,
over to
if I think, oh, I could enhance, like give it a bit of shading. See what I mean? 2 tones of the same color. I'm gonna do the horns in yellow.
She said that she's pretty sure Zorkrum and Harley have been relocated.
Again, I'm
Zorkrum
not gonna
begins shouting gibberish, and
completely
Harley
cover the horn.
standing
I'm just
behind
gonna
yells,
ever so slightly hint it in the corners of it, so it's basically a shade. But instead of shading
Harley is thrown into the air and she almost hit the plane.
with
Atlee
an
asks,
actual color,
she? But Power Girl
without
tells her
shading
it's
with
okay.
pencil
She missed the
or
plane by a few feet.
like a
And
grey
55
shade,
seconds
we're
before
just
she
gonna
falls
be
back to the earth. Atlee
slightly
asks,
putting a bit of
"You're
color
gonna
in there.
save her, right?" And Power
So
Girl sighs, stating,
it gives it an enhanced color, but it doesn't
As Power Girl
overpower
flies
it.
off, Zorkrum asks, who was that? She will be my queen. Make that happen, and I shall relent my takeover of Strata. Up in the sky, Harley yells, yeah, there's my beautiful, bountiful guardian angel. Wonder if you're getting sick of saving me. Power Girl tells her, yes, I am. After catching Harley, Power Girl says that they need to hurry
You can do the same thing if you do want to have it all in one color and then use a different color on top of that.
That answers that. Power Girl shoots back, catching Atlee, and once the 3 of them come back down to the ground, Power Girl asks, what happened? Harley tells her that they were
So what we
talking
did with
about
the wings
world
yesterday,
domination
not
over sandwiches,
yesterday,
and anyone
what we did with the wings
but
last
figure it
time.
out. Atlee then says that she knows what he wants. He wants to make her his queen. Harley says that she's flattered, but he's not much in the dangler department. And Atlee says no, he wants Power Girl. He wanted an introduction, and when she told him no, he told
My
her
phone's
to
freaking
stop.
out. Stop
Harley
freaking out. I
says,
keep getting
"Why don't you
messages.
just
Sorry,
put us
guys.
back in the cocoon before he starts destroying the rest of New York?" And Atlee He tells her it won't be that easy. The sun
Freaking
powered
out
him
by
up.
it.
He's stronger than he was before.
Making
Harley then asks if they keep
rumbling
fighting,
noises
they
on the
run out of
table.
energy.
Don't know if you
It's
can hear them.
nighttime, so he wouldn't be able to power back up. And Atlee says that might work, but how are they going to make Zorkrum use up all of his energy? And Harley says that she has an idea. They can give him what he wants. Atlee laughs, stating that she knows what she's thinking, and Harley yells, "Come on, no one will get hurt!" And Power Girl sighs, nothing except her dignity. So Power Girl and Zorkrum go on a date, seeing all the sights that New York has.
Leaming.
As the two sit down for drinks, Power
You've
Girl
been
asks
leaming
Zoe
from me.
Harley mentioned that he wanted
You've been
to go to
learning.
the planet. Does she tell him
Thank
how much
you.
work that's going to be?
Don't learn too
says that
much.
Harley did make some excellent point, but then the pastrami ran out. He became distracted. What is your opinion on all this? Are you prepared to willingly become my queen, or am I going to force you into submission?
The
Power
bubble.
Girl
I can't
decides.
have the bubble.
Zorkrum goes on stating that he thinks that she would enjoy being his queen.
We said purple
Here's the
for
last one. And the
clothing,
idea
didn't
of
we?
relations with you to create more of that races. It's second. Power Girl crushes her glass, asking, "You want kids?" And Zorkrum says, "What good would taking over the world be if there's no future generation to reap the benefits? We can start now, in fact. Remove your carbon." Without saying a word, Power Girl gets up, punching Zorkrum across the room, and Harley tells Atlee, "This is it." A short while later, Power Girl picks herself up
we
for
go
being
to that
knocked
bit
over
where I
by
don't like.
Zorkrum says that he is not familiar with this mating ritual, but now he has bested her in pre-coital combat. It is on to demove, and Power Girl shouts, "Again and again! Why is it always some megalomaniac who wants to have babies with me? Why not someone like John Hamm?" However, as the fight between Power Girl and Zorkrum rips through New York, Power Girl manages to kick Zorkrum in the stomach, sending him flying into the ground. She flies down, and as he starts to sluggishly get back up, Harley asks if Zorkrum is foaming at the mouth. Atlee tells her, yeah, something isn't right, and Harley runs in shouting, "I will save the day!" And she hits Zorkrum in the stomach. Zorkrum looks up at Harley, grunting, and when Power Girl calls out to him, he spins around, punching her in the chin, as if this punch doesn't do anything. He grunts again, looking at his broken hand, and Power Girl says, "Aha! No sunlight, no powers. Looks like you're going to need to recharge, and there's no way I'm gonna let that happen." Harley and Atlee run over, hugging Power Girl, telling her that she did it. Power Girl says that she's pretty sure Zorkrum is sick, by the way. Harley says that it must have been the squirrel from before. He must have gotten rabies. But what are we going to do with him now? Well, the three girls discuss options on how to deal with Zorkrum. Zorkrum gets up and tries to escape. But after only taking a few steps, a passerby runs into him with a bike, knocking all of his stuff to the ground. The man jumps up shouting at Zorkrum that he's going to have to pay for all of this, but he continues to try and escape. Just then, there's a pair of bright lights and he's struck by a passing bus. A few moments later, the three girls and the bus driver look at the exploded entrails of Zorkrum, and the bus driver says that he never saw him.
Just going to hint it with the purple.
Why is his blood blue? He's never killed anyone before. Harley tells him not to worry, he just saved the planet. He was going to enslave them all and take over the world. The bus driver says, "You weren't just saying that, right?" And Harley says, "No, you've become a hero now." As she looks back, she sees a rat scurrying away with one of Zorkrum's eyes. And once the roads are cleaned up, Power Girl brings Harley home, and Harley tells her that they should exchange contact info. Because it would work a lot better than just getting thrown into the air and Power Girl having to save her. Power Girl says that if she just yells her name, she will come. Harley tells her she did that already. Power Girl says, yeah, she chose to ignore that. She heard the shower too. Harley then asks her, "Can I get a goodbye hug before you go?" And Power Girl asks, "How about a handshake?" So Harley hugs her anyway. While the two hug, Power Girl tells Tony and Red Tool that she can hear all the cell phone cameras. Once Power Girl flies off, Harley asks Atlee how she would like to come back to her place and tell her about how she met Power Girl. Red Tool asks if they can join. And Harley asks, "Don't you have a hole to fill?" And Atlee says, "That's what she said. Did I do it right?" And there you have it, more Harley Quinn. Now, I'm not going to lie, I'm actually a huge fan of the Harley Quinn run. I don't always get to keep up with it, but I do read a lot of it. So we're going to be bringing you more Harley Quinn real soon, doing a further explanation into Red Tool, which is basically DC's version of Red Pool. Deadpool. Red Pool. See, DC, you did it. You got me to mix them up. That was your goal, wasn't it? Anyway, guys, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to get more crazy Harley Quinn insanity. Some of my favorite storylines are coming up, like her going to Apocalypse, so you're going to see that one real soon. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you next time right here at Comic Story.
Mwah.
Reclamation Day is nearly upon us. Your hard work.
Give me a second. Give it an advert.
Beware.
Okay, we've ended on that playlist. Done. Oh no. What's next? What can I have next? That playlist is now ended, so I'm going to find something else quickly. Can't have dead air. What to have? What to have? And we're keeping it on the female. I think we'll have a bit of Captain Marvel. She's coming into the new Marvel universe.
Welcome to our Origin series, where we bring you the origins of your favorite superheroes and villains. Today we're going to be covering Carol Danvers, the current Captain Marvel. Now, with most Marvel superheroes, her origin is still valid, so we'll be covering this to the best of our ability to help you understand why Captain Marvel is just awesome, and making so many appearances in books and getting her own movie soon. Now, Carol is a very interesting character because she's introduced to us as a normal human being for quite a few issues, and we actually learn how she gains her abilities and turns into a superhero. Now, after graduating high school, Carol joined the U.S. Air Force to pursue her love of flying. It was there that she excelled and was a top student in her class of the Air Force Academy, and she gained the rank of major. Now, after her time with the Air Force, her solid combat skills garnered her a position with the CIA. And during her tenure there, she worked with the likes of Colonel Fury and the mutant Logan, who you would probably know better as Wolverine. He was a member of the Canadian Secret Service at this time. After her
Sounds
time with
familiar. You
CIA,
mean
she
Captain
left to
Marvel?
join NASA as the security director for Cape Canaveral. During her time there, she was tasked with investigating a man by the name of Dr. Walter Lawson, whom she had a weird hunch about.
There's two Captain Marvels. There was an actual war between Marvel and DC with the name for Captain Marvel, because Shazam was actually Captain Marvel in the DC universe before it became Shazam officially. And Captain Marvel then was already originally in the Marvel, obviously for the Marvel universe because it's Marvel. Captain Marvel was originally called
during this fight,
Miss Marvel, I believe.
From an errant laser beam that
Yeah, Miss Marvel, and then she got, well, you'll find out in this playlist, but
Marvel was able to
yeah,
Carol from this
there's always been like 3 different Captain Marvels, but there was a war between DC and Marvel for the name.
In the aftermath of this explosion, Carol
Marvel
was
obviously
actually
won
left to
because it's
recover
their
on her
name.
own, and she was let go from NASA. Due to this, she decides to take a break from security and espionage to write a book about her experiences with the space industry, and she soon takes a job with the magazine Woman, which is a subsidiary to J. Jonah Jameson's Daily Bugle. While she is beginning her new life in the world of publishing, she begins to suffer dizzy spells, where she eventually blacks
Red on the
out.
skin before I
Now,
start.
during these blackouts, the Kree warrior DNA
Got red.
inside of her dresses her up and fights crime as the persona of Miss Marvel. However, it takes some time for her to discover that she is one and the same person with this new superhero. Through a series of events and adventures, Carol is able to come to terms with her being known as Miss Marvel, and she begins to act as Miss Marvel at her own free will. Now, from that point forward, the character of Miss Marvel goes through quite a few well-known story arcs, such as the situation in which she was impregnated by an immortal god character, and there's another one where Rogue steals all of her powers and puts her into a coma. But eventually, she is reintroduced as the new Captain Marvel in July of 2012, where she is currently a member of the
I
Avengers.
can't go
and
over
working
it
with the
again
Guardians of
to
the
give it a
Galaxy.
darker tone in
She's
different
also
areas. Like I
hoping to
have
be
this
moving
here, I
her
will
very
go
soon, and I'm personally
probably
excited about that.
pencilize this
Now, the powers that she has
and
are
see what
pretty
it
much
looks like,
all
and
the
then
Kree
probably
powers.
go over
So
it
she has
again
super
with the
strength, agility,
perfect marker.
durability, and stamina. She also has
But,
the ability
you
to fly,
can-
and that's her favorite power
Because they're
since she just
alcohol
loves
based,
flying airplanes
not
early in her
ink
career.
based. They don't.
She also has a seventh sense, which is basically
blend
just a
them.
spidey sense for all intended purposes.
Maybe
And that's
use a
pretty much
different
the
color
story how
altogether.
Carol Danvers went from being Carol Danvers of the CIA and NASA to Miss Marvel to Captain Marvel nowadays. Now, I do intend to do the Captain Marvel story arcs very soon, and if you want to see them sooner, let me know by giving this video a like. We will hit it eventually, but you can kind of front load that one into our list. Also, please don't forget that we have a gaming channel known as Eligible Monster, where we bring you gaming variety videos such as complete stories.
So do I. I
and
game in the
lists
evening,
like
guys,
top
so
6
don't forget
greatest
to
fatalities
tune in
in
later
Mortal
on
Kombat.
for some
We
more
also have another
Spider-Man
channel known as
PS4.
List Bomb, where we just bring you straight up list videos, such as the top 8 superhero movies that never got made. And lastly, please visit the weekpool.net, our comic book YouTuber community, where you can go there and just chat with everyone else. I'm Benny for Comic Story, and I will see you guys next time right here.
Do's and don'ts of potty training. Top 3. 1. Don't leave the house unprepared. Always carry a change of clothes.
That's what it's going to look like before I go any further.
2. Be patient as they learn through trial and error, and error, and error, and error. 3. Don't give your child large drinks before bedtime.
No! Oh my god, it's like common sense, shut up.
2. Dress your child in appropriate clothing. Look for the signs, use a sticker.
Welcome to the Complete Story series, where I take trade paperbacks and things.
Everybody knows that face.
Digestible bites
Everybody knows that face where their child's about to have a poo.
Today we're going to be covering the first half of Volume 1 for Captain Marvel. And I want to apologize to all of you, my viewers, my listeners, anybody who has been here. Before we go into this video, I'm just going to tell you a short story as to why we are now covering Captain Marvel. Now, when we do videos here at Comic Historian, we look for the ones that cause the least amount of backlash.
Oh, I love
Simply
Comic
put,
Historian.
I
might start listening
Captain
to
Marvel, which does
Comics
receive a little bit of
Explained as well.
backlash.
He's a little bit
Batman,
less
which I also enjoy,
fanboy
doesn't receive backlash. It's a lot easier
than
to
Benny
do a
is,
positive
but
reaction on a Batman
they're
video
still good. You
than
find
it is
out
to
all the
do
information that
Captain Marvel
I know,
backlash.
so you guys can
But I
know
feel
it too.
like doing this, I have done you, the viewer, and fans of Captain Marvel a disservice. When we were recently at Denver Comic-Con, two young girls worked up the courage to come to me and ask me to cover their favorite superhero, Captain Marvel. And just my normal reaction whenever somebody asks me to cover a character that could receive backlash, I told them, these two young
You
girls,
were writing about Tempi
that
last
it was
night.
because of the backlash that we don't cover them, and that was the wrong answer. I should have told them your favorite superhero will be on the channel within the next week, and that is exactly what we are doing right here, right now. Okay? I feel that by avoiding potential backlash on some of the storylines, the characters that cause backlash, we've done a disservice to those fans. So I'm going to
Just let everybody know that does watch back.
to bring you characters like Captain Marvel.
When I'm chatting to someone, that is Nicole in the background, guys. She, if you want to see the comment section, because you can't always see them when you're on the phone, the live comments. But if you go over to the actual link, on your PC, or I think even on your tablet now, you can actually see the comments.
The superhero known as Captain Marvel flies up, calling out that she's got it. Brody flies up, shouting, "Hang on a moment! Let me."
I know you can see the live comments as we're going now when we're live, but when you catch back, guys, you can't always see them, which I've noticed. It's a bit of a bummer, really.
Throwing it into the air, stating, "Please don't be a nuke."
But definitely, if you can still see them if you go over to your PC or tablet or even your laptop.
Back up after the rocket, saying, "Okay, just so you
All the
know,
comments
if this was a
will get
bomb,
said
then
in
you
the
would be
background.
thanking me right about now." When Carol shoots by grabbing the rocket,
I do try and
she stares at it and
read out all the
asking if she's
ones that
seen
need to
anything
be
like
read
this
out.
before. She tells him, "No, you're gonna want to get sword on the line. There's somebody in it." Later that night, Carol heads out on patrol with Tony Stark so that they can discuss what it was that Carol found earlier. Tony says the alien that they found was unconscious, but she's stable. She's now Lanian, a rapidly aging race from the outer edges of the Centauri's arm. The two touch down to stop a pair of men robbing a couple, and while the heroes take care of them, Carol asks what would she be doing all the way out here. She ran away from home. Tony tells her that that's the thing, doesn't have a home. The now Lanian planet was destroyed by the build. They attempted to escape, but even the evacuees were attacked. No one is sure if they survived or where they even have landed. Carol then says, "All right, so before we can take her home, we have to figure out."
Now I'm going back over what I've already drawn quickly, because I don't know if you can see it or not. But there's a lighter tone here to a darker tone here.
Some people spend some time.
And if you go over it 2 or 3 times, not like you can on a felt tip, because a felt tip you just rip the page and it just soaks and you just go straight through. But with these, again, they're alcohol based and they sort of blend nicely into each other, so you can actually get a darker tone.
And Tony laughs, telling her, "I totally agree with you."
What you've actually drawn.
Could you go talk to him about it? Tony then picks up the two muggers and flies off shouting, "Bye!" The next night, over at the McGuire Air Force Base, Brody throws a birthday party for Tracy in one of the hangars. While everyone starts to mingle, Carol whispers to Brody that she needs...
Anybody in the chat, have you been watching Big Mouth? And if you've got teenager kids, bloody awesome to watch it with them.
That James
It's on
Rhodes
Netflix.
is a better pilot than the great Carol Danvers. Brody says, "Well, I am." And as Carol tells him in his dreams, Brody goes on telling her about my dreams. "I've been thinking that maybe we could go out, have a nice dinner, not sneaking around behind the backs of everyone that you aren't dating anymore." Carol then says it's not like that, it's just nobody's business. She doesn't want to make a thing out of it until they're both sure. Brody asks,
Very
"Not
crude
sure?"
program
Carol
though,
tells
but
him,
it
"No,
kind of,
yes. Well, I'm sure
it's
like
like a
you,
hormone monster in it and things
Brody
like that.
then
It's
says,
just
"Not
really,
you,
really good.
it's me." Carol says, "No, yes, maybe. I want to go to space." Brody pauses for a moment. And
Kind of like
turns
American
and
Dad,
asks how long.
but
Carol tells him she's
grown
not
up
sure.
kids.
Maybe a year. As a few more moments pass, Brody says, "If you're sure about it, then you gotta go. I could be many things for you, but I'll never be the one to hold you down." Brody hugs Carol, and Carol asks if he can feed her cat. Brody tells her no, absolutely not. A short while later, Brody heads back in, and Carol stands outside looking at the stars. She isn't sure what it is, but she knows that there's something out there calling to her like she belongs out there. She changes into her costume and begins to fly up, telling herself that maybe if she flies far enough, she'll be able to turn around and look at the world and see where she belongs. A few weeks later, she finds herself floating in space on her ship. She asks the computer Harrison to check the sword database and identify hostile vessels. Harrison tells her that 3 of the 6 ships show to be Hethrak manufactured transport ships, primarily used by smugglers along this route. The larger ship has an 80% probability that it's a mercenary vessel. None of them have any sort of diplomatic status. She is cleared for engagement. She smiles, stating, she wasn't too keen on the idea of a talking ship when Joni presented it. You're all right, Harris. Harrison says, it seems that we have an incoming transmission, and begins to play the audio of the alien ship. She reaches for the universal translate button. She sees her cat Chewie laying on the controls. She picks him up, yelling, "You can't lay there!" And when she pushes the button, the audio begins to play in English. And the person from the ship
Nicole's in a lot more about tempi in a new book. She's saying there in the comments.
Them that she is Captain Marvel of the Earth's Avengers.
Definitely, if you haven't already checked out the other ones, go check the Veil. She's got a few more books, but she does explain more on her own channel. She's called Nicole Jean. Just search that up in the search bar on YouTube. But what you need to do, because I couldn't find her when I first tried looking for her, is to put in Nicole Jean and then the Veil, and you'll be able to find that one.
Harrison warns her that the enemy ships are charging their weapons, but before Carol can finish shouting not to fire, Stegan hits the ship with a blast. Carol takes Chewie, throwing him into his cat carrier, telling him to just sit back for a moment. Mama's going to hand the boys their butts. She begins to dodge and weave through the enemy fire, and as Chewie begins to hiss, Carol tells him that if he didn't want to come, he should have been a lot nicer to people. Once she gets a clear shot, she begins to fire at the transport ships, destroying them. And just as she flies through the explosion, she too is hit. Carol is thrown from her chair, and Harrison tells her that the thrusters, as well as the weapons, are offline. Main power is at 38%. She puts on her helmet, shouting to put all of their power to life support. She's going outside to take care of things. As she starts to get away from the ship, she hits the 2 mercenary ships with a photon blast, destroying them. But before Carol can locate the third, another blast shoots by, hitting the 3rd mercenary ship. In one of the transports, Stegan's officer asks what are his orders, and Stegan tells them that they will retreat for now. Carol radios back to Harrison, asking what did he do when he tells her no, and then another voice comes over the comm stating, "Oh, sorry, that would be us." Peter Quill says, "The Guardians of the Galaxy." Rocket Raccoon then says that, "What I wouldn't give to see that again. Hey, lady, or Captain, is that a camera on your helmet? No? Sorry, my bad." A short while later, once Carol's ship is docked with Peter's, Carol asks why would they fire on a medical transport. Peter tells her that there could be a number of reasons. The builders wiped out several fleets, ships are at a premium, could have wanted a ride, or cargo. Carol then says, well, her cargo is a Nalian girl in a coma. All she's trying to do is get her home. They think the evacuees of the Nalians have settled on Torfa. Rocket then says, that's your problem, Torfa. But before he could go on, Chewie then jumps up into Peter's arms, and Rocket shouts, get back! And he pulls out his gun. Rocket starts to fire at the cat, and Carol yells, what are you doing? Rocket continues shooting, shouting, we need to hurry and kill the flocking thing with fire before it lays eggs. As the bullets fly, one bounces off a circuit board and sends an electrical charge throughout the ship. As that charge travels, it makes its way to the medical bay and into the container holding the Nalian girl. Suddenly, the cover of the container pops open and the girl inside wakes up screaming back with the others. Carol grabs Chewie and Rocket asks, have you seen it lay eggs? And Carol says, for the love of no! I have not seen my cat, the mammal, laying...
Low power.
That works.
Up to 48 hours extra charge.
Once things finally calm down, Carol asks, what were you saying about Torfa? Rocket says, Torfa is a poison planet. As in not compatible with life, Peter that adds that most of the population got wiped out by an unknown plague. Skip ahead 200 years, and the Galactic Council and all of their wisdom chose to relocate the builder refugees to a poison planet. Now that everyone's starting to get sick, the Council is trying to move the settlers, but there isn't enough ships to go around, and the refugees won't leave their sick behind. Cold day in hell when I can see eye to eye with my dear old dad. But getting as many people off the planet as possible before history repeats itself is our goal now. Carol then asks who's his dad, and Peter laughs, telling her, ha, I carry the blood of the Spartax line. Carol then says that his father is, oh. But before they could continue, the girl from the...
Well, I'm there. Should we have the stockings being in a different colour? I know the fishnecks, so they kind of, you see through them, but...
All calm down.
Should we have a different color?
The girl says that her name is Tick, and she will be the one who kills the Prince of Spartax. Before he can finish, Gamora charges forward, pushing Carol into Tick, and as Tick drops the gun, she makes for the airlock to get back to Carol's ship. As Carol's ship detaches from docking, Carol shoots outside after the ship, shouting, no one steals my flocking cat! A short while later in space, Carol realizes something. She can fly fast, but not as fast as her ship, which is now gone. Rocket rages in stating, good news is that your ship's hyperdrive still works. And Peter then gets on stating, if you would like, you can rejoin us and we can try to make our way to Torpa. Or, but before he can finish, an alarm goes off and Carol's ship appears out of hyperdrive, shooting at the Guardian ship. However, just as Carol gets ready to chase after them, the ship jumps back into hyperdrive. Carol then says, well, would you look at that? I didn't know my ship could do that. Rocket tells her, actually, it's not designed to jump in and out of hyperdrive like that. But that little green girl isn't a bad technician. Tick jumps back out and aims straight for the Guardian ship. But as it gets close, Carol jumps in the way to try.
Kind of like them like that.
As the ship
As in
Carol,
white.
Rocket says, ouch! That one had to hunt. Tick then gets up from the pilot seat stating, please don't be dead. I didn't mean to. And just then a hand slams onto the windshield and Carol tells her to write down the
I could just go over them again with the thing and finish off what I had done.
Scratch on this ship, she will deeply regret that she didn't kill her when she had a chance. A short while later, after getting Tick in the hand, shouts that they would have done the same if they were in her position. The Spartax king is trying to separate them and force them off their land. So if she could have taken out his son to feel their pain, and Peter stops her, telling her, you wouldn't have brought the kings to his knees by helping me. In fact, she probably would have sent you a thank you note. Secondly, as much as it kills me to say it, this isn't Jason's style. What would Spartax want with a poison plant? Tick asks if he's not going for the land, why would he try to get them off of there by force? Peter shouts, telling her, oh, I'm not so sure. Maybe he's trying to save your lives. Carol then says, look, what reason would the Alliance have to relocate your people other than to protect you? Tick stands up yelling, they don't know that. I leave that stuff to the diplomats. I'm a warrior. My job is to. And Carol shouts, telling her, you are not a warrior. Sit down this instant. There is no honor in what you did. Tick sits back down, and Carol continues to yell, and Tick begins to cry. Peter whispers that, you're so great with kids, Carol.
Yeah, so do you want to keep them like that and keep them white?
So much. As Tick starts to calm down, Carol says it breaks her heart, but she gets where she's coming from. Their home world is destroyed. Their refuge is destroyed. They've been shuttled around the galaxy. The minute that they find a place to settle and start working, people start getting sick. And the Alliance figured that they made a mistake and are trying to help move them. Peter then says, well, with their ship's speed, they got about 2 weeks to reach Torpa. Hopefully by then she can work on getting Tick to trust her. He would offer to help, but Carol tells him no.
Right,
if they think that Spartax is up to
We'll
something, Peter would do more harm than harm. Don't worry, she's got some moves. A week and a half later at Torpa, Carol smiles and holds out her hand to the man named Gil standing high. Her name is Captain Marvel, and she's a part of the Avengers in the Galactic Alliance. Gil stares for a moment and then punches Carol to the ground. She picks herself up as her hands begin to glow, and she tells herself, put it away, Carol. You don't bring photon blast to a fist fight. Tick runs over helping Carol, telling Gil
You'll have
the
a pencil in a second, guys.
Gil hugs her and picks up Tick while everyone else gathers around, and Carol says, okay, there may be some kind of a misunderstanding here. Gil helps Carol up the rest of the way and asks her if she's with the Galactic Alliance, and Carol tells her, well, sort of. We're on the same side. Gil punches her again, telling her that there's been no mistake. She springs up from the ground, stating, let's try this again.
We do some more
grabs Gil by the arm, slamming into
shading on the skirt there. I'll put a red underneath, and then on top of that I'll shade with, what colour do we pick, actually?
Tick yells, Lady Ellenites! And Lady Ellenites asks if this is the champion that was promised. Tick tells her, no, this is Captain Marvel. She was actually looking for Spider-Woman. But Captain Marvel's an Avenger too. So she's going to help. Tick then looks at Carol and tells her to go ahead and tell them. Tell them everything's going to be all right. Carol extends her arm, telling her it's an honor, Madame President. I'm not sure on which I should. Elenates then asks Tick if she would be so kind to escort the emissaries of the Spartax Empire back to their ships. She's afraid negotiations with them are at an impasse. As Elenates begins to walk off, she calls to Carol to follow her. They have much to discuss. And once the two of them are alone, Carol says that she's so sorry that they got off on the wrong foot, and respectfully, the Alliance did fight the Builders who destroyed their world. The Alliance did give them a home when they had nowhere else to go. Elenite starts to pick some flowers, telling her, yes, they gave it to them, and now they want to take it back by force, claiming that it is unsafe. She looks at Carol and asks, why is it that you were here? And Carol tells her to bring Tick back home. And then she says, why are you still here? Carol goes on telling her that because Tick has gone through things that no one should experience. Because she believes that her presence here might help someone.
Using a pink now, guys, over the red, so I can give it a bit more darker. I think if I use more red, it would just be red, really. Too red.
And asks, then what? You returned an errant child, to which I'm grateful. But still, the arrogance that you think that you are unique. You believe that if you... Carol stumbles, trying to say no. And Elenise asks, then what? You returned an errant child, to to which I'm grateful, but still, the arrogance that you believe that you think that you are unique.
Okay, what you're seeing is a lot
Believe
blurrier
that
than what it
somehow
actually
make
is.
it clear
I'll give you a
that
close up in a
your
minute or two.
fail. The longer that you stay, the more
Keep
people
looking
are
up there, and
unique.
it's like, oh
If I
god,
leave,
that's
you will
smearing.
send it to
I
whoever's
can't
talking
focus
back.
that in anymore. I've tried
And
multiple times, but that's as best I can get with the camera I've got at the moment.
She looks at the rows of beds with six
Still
patients
planning on
and
getting
I'm
another
telling
one.
her, good, perhaps you can make yourself useful after all. And there you have it. The first part of Captain Marvel from Kelly Sue DeConnick. Now, I am a fan of Captain Marvel. I don't like what they've done with her recently because she's become like a big evil villain in the Marvel Universe, but then Marvel wants to go like, no, she's still a good guy. Forget she put Tony in a coma. And then she meets up with Tony, and Tony's like, you put me in a coma. So it's like, Marvel wants to have their cake and eat it too. I don't get it. But anyway, following this, we're actually going to go back to doing Ms. Marvel. We're going to start doing Wonder Woman again. She fights Darkseid and then the old gods, and it becomes Star Sapphire again. How have I missed this? Anyway, we're going to be covering all of those books along with various other ones that I've picked out. It's not really going to disrupt our main schedule, but we are going to be kind of diving into characters that I have not been diving into because Batman is easy to do. All right, guys.
Okay, he's talking about DC.
Record, you guys are wondering, I also like
That's T-Titan.
There's like two Batman tattoos on me, and then this one's Red Hood. But if you don't know that, it's Batman. Yeah. So, and I like Wonder Woman. She's over here too. Like, I kind of like a lot of superheroes, guys. That one's Flash. You can't tell lightning bolt. Flash. Over here is like Bahamut from Final Fantasy. Oh look, Benny's flexing his crappy muscle. I'll see you guys next time right here.
Or you can just check out another video, guys, because I've got plenty of them on my channel. So I love listening to them while I draw. Again, my name is Blut084. BLUT084. Art and games here every day on YouTube, occasionally on Mixer. Every day and night over on Instagram. Same name, different place. Adverts.
Welcome to the Complete Story Series, where I take trade paperbacks and single issues and I break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then I read them dramatically back to you. All alterations, the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. Today we're going to be concluding Captain Marvel Volume 1 with the last 3 issues of her first Space Avenger Adventure. Wow, Space Avenger Adventure. That's kind of hard to say. When we last left off with her, she had gone into space to become the Space Avenger, kind of representing the Avengers in space, and she came across a planet that had been poisoned, and the refugees from a previous attack had gone to this planet, and now they were attempting to move them off of the planet's surface. They asked her, what is she going to do to help? And today, we will find out. When we last left off, Carol Danvers had gone off into space to become the Space Avenger. And while she was up there, she had journeyed far and wide into space, eventually running into an interesting individual, an alien who was fleeing from a planet that had a problem with poison, and it was the home of refugees. Peter Quill of the Guardians of the Galaxy's father and his race of the Spartans decided that they were going to help the refugees by moving them off the planet. But when Carol arrived at the planet to offer her aid to those refugees, they told her that they did not want to leave the planet.
Then, where's my pencil sharpener?
Calls for a council meeting and is quickly asked why would they listen to anything that the Galactic Alliance has to say. While the shouting continues, Ellen yells to everyone that they will have order. Let Captain Marvel speak. Carol begins to tell everyone to please listen to her. She is not their enemy. Her heart goes out to. But then the council starts yelling again, asking what good are her feelings. They aren't helping her. One of the members of the council then begins to stand up and says that she has something to say. Ellen calls out that the chair recognizes Sorna, Ek of Arden, and Sorna steps down onto the platform, telling Carol to please forgive their restlessness. For every one person they see here, there are millions of deaths when the Builders came. She then turns back to everyone, asking when they were attacked. Was it not the Avengers who came and defended them? Another of the crowd stands up asking, are you kidding? With all due respect, the Avengers have no place in our proceedings, if I may. Ellen calls out to Mr. Seppel of Sentinel. Seppel then steps down stating that there is a rather simple solution, and that is to leave them. Let the Sentinels look after their ill. Everyone begins shouting that they will not do such a thing, and Sorna calls out that they will not let the Alliance extract them so that they can live on evacuation ships. As the crowds begin to grow louder, Ellen calls for order, yet no one listens. And then Carol flashes a bright yellow light, yelling, excuse me, Elenide states that the Avenger has the floor. Carol then asks, what about if they had their own transport? What if they all could go? Don't they have their own ships? Both Sorna and Sepul tell her no, and then Carol asks why not. Sorna tells Gil to show the good captain their
Those
fleet.
pens run out
A few
quick.
moments later, Gil leads Carol outside and says, ta-da! Carol says that this isn't a fleet, this is a junkyard. Gil then says he's so glad that she came halfway across the galaxy just to tell them they're doomed. Just then a Sentinel steps out asking, did someone say doomed? My name is B329, but folks just call me B or Bebop. Tick whispers that nobody calls him that, and he whispers back, not yet. Gil says that this is a waste of time. The captain's idea sucks. Then a voice calls out that no, it doesn't. Her idea is solid, but her ability to carry it out is what is lacking. A female jumps out of one of the ships and shakes Carol's hand, stating that her name is Jacques Luglut, warlord goddess, but you can call her Jackie. Jackie tells her, look, I like the captain's idea of getting everyone off this planet, but the issue is we don't have the resources. But before Jackie could go on, there's a low rumble noise, and Gil shouts, Hafensai! Seconds later, Hafensai's ship swoops down, causing everyone to jump to the ground, and Jackie quickly climbs into the gunner's seat of one of the ships and starts to fire back. As Hafensai's ship leaves, Jackie gets back to stating that the Alliance hold their patrols, and now Hafensai comes and goes.
Like I said, I can use the same colour here.
Starting them out, and
Excuse
have
me.
her speeding up the process.
To do the fishnets. Let me know if you want to do that.
Get resources that they need to make a fleet. Right now on her ship. A few moments later, as she flies into space, she asks B where they're headed, and he says Ursa 2 and 4. If they can't buy what they need, then it can't be bought. A short while later at Ursa 2, Carol shouts asking, what did they just do? Tick, Gil, and Jackie come running back to the ship with armful of supplies, stating that they remembered who they are and found their will to live again. Gil then yells that they just liberated a bunch of engine parts, and as Carol asks why they're running, Gil says, well, it's because we're being chased. Jackie then zooms by with Tick, stating that they didn't find any Hafensai, but they did find their buyers. Carol says, wait, you stole these parts? Jackie tells her, well, they stole them first. Carol says, well, that's different then. She spins back, punching some of the men that are chasing the group, and while Harrison begins to take off, Carol stays behind to keep the attackers on the ground. When Tick looks back, she notices two men in the group and says that they're Spartak's men. Carol then looks at them and says that they're Jason's royal guard. What are they doing here? But while Carol and the others were liberating the ship parts back on Torfa, Elenide speaks with Jason over a hologram regarding what they're going to be doing next. Jason tells her that they have 3 days to organize an evacuation and transport 1,000 of their youngest and healthiest to resettle elsewhere. Elenide states the others will die. Jason shouts, the rest will die either way. She shouts that this is madness. He put them here. He volunteered a dead planet to on the outskirts of his territory. In just a few years, they could have trade, and Jason just talks over her. Yes, I put you there, and now you're beginning to fall ill and die. So now I have to make a tough call. 3 days, and you will either leave or all die. Back with Carol. She lands her ship on Ursa 4. Carol tells them that this time, Tick is staying with her. They're going to get a legit source this time. As everyone walks off the ship, Stegan, the half-sign mercenary, leans out of the shadows, smiling. As everyone breaks off, Tick whispers to Carol not to look back. To her left, there's Spartak's police. They may have been following her. And while Carol makes eye contact with the royal guard, she grabs a fruit from a nearby stand. Tick then notices a Nalian man collecting materials, asking why is he here. The man brushes them off, and as the royal guard walk up, they both ask Carol and Tick for their identification. Carol looks back and waving her hand, stating that these are not the droids that you are looking for. And as the guards just stare, she tosses the fruit, stating it was worth a shot, and she punches. The man with the material begins to run. And as Tick tackles into it, the man shouts that they are the people from the Galactic Alliance. Help! As an all-out brawl breaks out, Jackie
Marvel
flies
basically
over
own everything. Oh, sorry.
Carol yells that she needs to get Tick back first.
Disney basically own everything now.
Tick shouts
I really don't think they should have done that because
Carol reaches up, grabbing one of the metal
it's
pieces the man has.
they should have everything.
Fades, Tick is nowhere to be seen. Carol starts flying around
Since
looking
they
for Tick, but
bought
she can't
out
find her. Carol gets
basically
frustrated, throwing
everything.
a piece of metal to the ground as she notices something
just
about the
become
metal.
convoluted with
There wasn't a
everything
scratch on it.
else.
She puts her helmet back on and radios back to Jackie, asking if they're sure that Hafensai has been intercepting goods from Torfa. Jackie responds, stating they haven't been on that planet long enough to
I'm
manufacture
not a great fan of
anything.
Star
There
Wars.
shouldn't be anything coming off of that planet.
I don't give a
Carol
crap
turns
about
back to
that,
the metal
but
and hits it with a photon blast, and as the smoke clears, it
they
reveals that
should
there's
have bought
not a
out
dent
Marvel.
on that
They were
metal.
struggling.
She says that she has an idea what this is about.
Didn't buy
Short
DC
while
though.
later, out
Whoops.
in
That's
space
why
in
they're
the
shit.
Hafensai caravan, a group of people are held in the cargo. And Tick asks if this is what they do with ships. Another person tells Tick that she shouldn't be asking questions Bad things happen when you do. The two then look at a man asking one of the guards a question, and a few seconds later, the guard punches him. A short while later, those people are put to work moving cargo. And as a woman dumps a box of materials into a cart, Tick asks if this stuff has got anything to do with ships. Are they engine parts? The woman helps move the cart along, stating that it's metal. Builders wiped out the Spartacus fleet, so now they have to construct more, and this metal is for that.
What are we doing with
metal
the
bar stating that
stockings?
You don't buy steel to build ships and little
What
packs.
colour do you want the wings?
The woman tells them that this isn't steel, it's vibranium. Later, back on 12,
Let me know in the comment section.
Helenized and explains what happened about them acquiring parts for ships and how Tick was captured. But while she does, Helenized asks, vibranium sickness? That's an archaic miner's disease. There hasn't been a case of that in hundreds of years. Advancement in mining wiped that out. Carol tells them that that's correct, but those advancements are also slow to process. If someone were to try and get out quickly using old techniques, Jackie continues forward, telling her that byproducts would seep into the ground and the water. That combined with radiation, well, the symptoms are identical. Elenite states that there are no known sources of vibranium left in the galaxy. They don't even have vibranium mines. Carol takes up the piece that Tick threw to her and tells her that she's thinking they do. Half inside were transporting these. She hit it with everything and she couldn't even chip it. The Spartaks have the tech to smelt it. If they were to be fortifying their ships with vibranium, Elenite says that they would rise from the ashes of the builders' assault with an indestructible.
Rise from the ashes!
Simple because the walkout stating that this is ridiculous. And Carol stands in his way, telling him she asked a question. B then says that it's the Sentinels, isn't it? Their exoskeletons filter their fluids and show them from radiation.
Okay, I can leave that. I kind of like that anyway. So,
Sorna asks how could she?
wings.
So Paul says we had no choice. We lost our homes and our futures. If we would have waited without biomanufacturing, we would have died out. Do you know what that would do to our population? And B asks, so instead you wipe out ours? Elenite storms out of the room, shouting that the evacuation is off. Notify the medics to begin treatment for vibranium sickness. Until then, Gil, place Mr. Sepple under arrest until formal charges can be brought up. It is time that we arrange a meeting with Jason. As everyone steps out, a voice calls out, stating that they have a message as well. The emissaries from before continue and tell them that they are all prisoners of the Spartacus Empire. Carol walks up to the guards, telling them like hell, and the emissaries state that the Avengers have no authority here. She's also been ordered to withdraw and go home. She begins to ball up her fist, but Elenite tells her no. If they turn the Empire away, they will just return with bigger guns. Carol says that she can help, but Elenite tells her that she is hereby ordering her to leave, tend to the business of the Avengers, and leave them to the future that they have made for themselves. Anger comes over her, but she bows and tells her, yes, ma'am. And as she leaves, Elenite tells the emissaries that she surrenders. Later, up in space, she begins setting course to rendezvous with the Guardians of the Galaxy ship. And Harrison asks, shall he prepare?
How did you want the wings?
Orders? Carol tells him no, he's going on ahead without her. She's going back to Torfa. Harrison then asks, even though Elenite ordered you not to? And Carol tells him that Elenite ordered her to mind Avengers business. A dictator trying to take an unarmed planet by force, that's Avenger business. Once Carol gets suited up, she flies out of the ship and floats, stating she's willing to die here today for this cause. She has made her choice. Now they can make theirs. And in front of Carol is a large number of the Spartacus fleet. Aboard one of the ships, a general asks Jason, how should they proceed? And Jason asks, do we really have to fear a flying Earth girl? The general says, no, your grace. No more than an elephant fears a gnat. As Carol begins to engage the forces in space, the explosions can be seen from the planet's surface. The emissaries ask, what is that? And Elenite tells them, the Avenger. Once Elenite's aides run up, stating that there's a call on the communicator, Elenite states that she thought she told her to leave. Carol tells her. She also asked if she could live with the death of her people on her conscience. She knew what was going to happen. If things here can be held back, any chance of making some diplomatic magic? Elenite states that they will soon find out. And when she calls back, will she do as she's told? Carol says that she's a soldier. She can take an order. As the line disconnects, Elenite tells her aide to get B on the line and follow her. A few moments later, the call comes in to B, and he picks up stating that he found the mine. It's actually not that hard to find. Elenite tells him that he needs to evacuate. Get every living being as far away from that site as possible. Once the call ends, Elenite asks Jackie how many fighters are airworthy.
Black.
Jackie says, right Ursa, two. Elenite tells her that that'll work.
I love black. Yeah, I can do black.
As everyone gets into their positions, Elenite tells Sorna that she has one final request, and that is to tell everyone to sit down.
Let's get rid of that minute.
And Elenite yells, just do it! She takes the communicator from the aide and patches into Carol's helmet and says that she's going to need her to go to the mines. Carol tells her that she's not sure she can get there before Jason and his fleet make it to them. Elenite says it'll be fine. Replacements are on the way. Just then, Jackie and Gil pop on the line, and Jackie says, "One warrior goddess and one comically oversized goat at your service." As Jackie and Gil shoot into the ships, Carol turns and heads back to Torfa, stating that she is en route to the mines. While she flies back, Jason opens up a line to Elenides and looks at everyone asking, "What's going on? You're all sitting down." Elenides yells that there's no poison here. It's the vibranium. He didn't
Oh, don't take away comment.
He was the one poisoning them. Jason tells her that they all should have died with their home worlds. I have tolerated your
Oh dear, my
long
phone's
enough,
ringing.
as it did not inconvenience the Empire. Now you
I'll
do,
be right back, guys.
and we
Give me
will
2
finish
seconds.
where the builders began. Elenides tells him no, they will not. Captain, the mines. Over at the vibranium mines, Carol rockets down into the ground, destroying everything on her way. She says by the time she's done here, it will take another 200 years for them to dig out these mines. Jason shouts that he will kill them. He will blow up this whole damn planet and not a soul will more. Tick then radios in from one of the Happen-sized ships, stating wrong. The Happen-sized aren't pretty. They got connections. Network connections to every corner of the galaxy, and thanks to their help, those connections are open. And right now, everyone's listening. Carol flies back to the city and tells Jason that he better go before she finds where the other side of this project is. Because if she does and lives to be 100, she will never come to terms with what she's going to do to him next. Jason looks at her and tells her, "I will remember this." Carol tells him that she sure as hell hopes he does. With that, Jason calls back his forces, and soon the people of Torfa are left alone. The next day out in the shipyard, Carol looks at the shuttle she repaired, and Jackie comes out telling her that she thought someone was stealing her shuttle. She was about to call the military police, but then remembered that they don't have military or police in why she had her all along. Carol scratches her head, stating that she's never one for goodbyes. And Jackie tells her, well, then she can at least deal with a thank you. Because of her, they're free. So Carol hops into the shuttle and takes off to her next adventure. There you have it, the conclusion of Volume 1 for Captain Marvel. Now we're going to continually bring you more Captain Marvel storylines. I have found some old stuff from when she was Miss Marvel and became Captain Marvel, and we have some current storylines that I did enjoy that we will run. I will let you know right now, her treatment in Civil War II I did not like, so we're probably not going to be covering her post-Civil War II until they do something better with her, which they have been in the new Avengers book. She's getting good again. So anyway, let me know in the comments down below what you thought about this initial run for Captain Marvel. Did you end up liking the story? Did you dislike the story? And you can also chat with me over on Instagram at ComicStorian, where we give you panels and we let you get your opinions on various things on comic books. And we have a whole cool thing going on over there. It'd be cool to have you join us. Hope to see you there, and I'll see you next time right here at ComicStorian.
Okay, I'm back, guys. Yeah, that was a call for me to do a call with technology and things like that, training and things like that, and getting a job doing what I'm already doing. Right. What were we saying?
Should things at some point go terribly wrong?
You didn't do it on purpose. It's fine. I got it. Yeah, it's fine. Sorry for laughing, but it's black is like it's a quote from a program over here called The Fast Show, and there's an artist, believe it or not, that when he uses black, the color, he says that quote over and over again, and he destroys the piece of art that he's doing. He'll be doing like a nice scene of a background, like say a field, hay or whatever, and he'll be painting it, and then he'd be like, he'll have to shade it. And he's always sitting with his wife, and he'll go, yeah, just a little bit of black.
So today we're going to be covering 2 issues from Volume 2.
Black! And you go crazy with it. So I wasn't taking the mickey, that's just literally a quote.
To make her the Space Avenger, to represent Earth, and she's already done a great job, but what's going to happen next for Carol Danvers? In our last video, Carol Danvers took on her first solo space adventure by returning the alien Tick back to the home world of Torfa. After helping Tick's people regain control from their corrupt government, Carol was given a shuttle to return to her ship after a long, hard-fought battle. But what Carol didn't notice was that she had a stowaway on her ship. Floating high above Earth's surface, she faces the one thing that she never
Probably find some out about that actually. If you look up on YouTube for the Fast Show,
her to move, and he flies through, tackling
you'll see what I mean.
missing a blast from the builders. He tells Carol that she needs to get her head in the game. They are the fists of this operation, so it's time to live up to that name. The two hold out their arms, charging up their beams, but as they fire, the combined power just bounces off the builder's ship. Spider-Woman Jessica Drew calls over the comms that their ship has stalled. They have to hold that thing off long enough for them to get things going again. Brody asks how long do they need, and Wendy says about a week. Brody kicks on the thrusters, telling her that he can fire about a minute and a half. Make it work. And as he rockets straight into the builder's ship, he flips the self-destruct switch, crashing into the ship's hull. Carol tries to find words to explain how she's feeling, but Jessica yells that they're sitting ducks. She needs to do something now. She flies over to the stalled ship, trying to push it to help get it moving, but the builder's ship begins to charge up for another attack. She can hear everyone on the ship calling out to save them, and that's when the blast goes off and there's a loud crack-oo as the ship is ripped apart. Moments later, she wakes up in her bed, telling herself that she just wasn't strong enough. She couldn't save them. 3 nights now she's had the same nightmare, but what is it supposed to mean? And just then Tick walks by with a plate of tentacles, asking Carol if she'd like some breakfast. Carol tells her stowing away in her ship can't be fixed with just breakfast, you know. And Tick tells her, well, we can at least try. As Carol looks at the squirming tentacles, she sighs, stating to just make her some coffee and she might let her live. After brushing her teeth and changing into her costume, Carol hears beeping in the cockpit and shouts, Harrison! It's been too long. A voice comes over the radio stating that Harrison's offline. What kind of name is that anyway? It's not even an acronym. She begins to ask who else is there, and Rocket says, look, Quill sent me. And just like I said before, I didn't hurt the Flurkin. See? She's fine. Rocket points to a crate where Carol's cat Chewie is sitting growling. Rocket then points to Tick, asking, what is she doing there? Wasn't the point of your last mission to bring her home? Tick tells her that the captain and her saved her people. Now she's signed on to be her second in command.
Anybody ever go
Really?
watched a TV program called
Carol calls back that is not exactly how it
Space
went down,
Dandy?
And no, you are not my second in command, Tick. Carol pulls Chewie out of the crate, stating that everything is going to be all right now. What did the horrible, ugly weasel do to her baby girl? Rocket tells her, I heard that. And Carol says, good, because you have 5 seconds to apologize before Tick and I have some grilled weasel tonight. Rocket tells her, look, I did you a favor. I've been asking around. Do you know how much a living female Florkin is worth on the open market? In addition to being vicious killers, they're also living gateways to pocket dimensions. I got a guy willing to pay $50,000. Carol shouts, that's it! And Rocket tells her, bring it! Chewie starts hissing, and there's a sudden shift in the ship as it hits something. Carol asks to get Harrison up and running, and Rocket tells her Harrison isn't ready yet. I was doing something with him. She gets up and runs back, yelling, just boot him up already! I need to get Chewie somewhere safe until we figure out what's going on. After putting Chewie into the storage room, Carol heads back and looks out the window to see a giant claw, asking what is that? Just then a loud robotic meow comes over the comms, and Carol asks, why did her ship just meow at her? Rocket tells her, yeah, and there's a perfectly logical explanation as to why. I may have diverted some of the systems to language analysis to see if I can translate Florkin. Carol shouts that Chewie is a cat, and Harrison can't learn to speak cat because cat is not a language. Rocket tells her, all right, just remember that when the thing is laying there. A few moments later, the cabin begins filling with smoke, and Carol says, great, what now? Are we going to suffocate? Rocket tells her, no, this stuff isn't poisonous. It's like the dye you drink in the doc's office before taking the pictures of your gun. It's being used to map the inside of your ship. Tick asks, what could they be looking for? And after a loud farunk, Rocket says that they're looking for the Florkin. We should just give it to him. Carol shouts, hell no, we're not giving away my cat. Rocket tells her, look, clearly word has gotten around. And Carol stops him, asking, yes, and how did word get around that I had a Florkin? Rocket says, it doesn't matter. If we don't hand the thing over, whatever's on the other side of that dent is going to come in and take it. There's more banging on the ship, and while Carol and Rocket continue to argue, Tick opens up the door to the storage to check on Chewie. As she looks in, she tells Carol, you may want to look at this. Chewie is the mama. Everyone then begins to peer in, but before Carol can say anything, Rocket tells her, told ya. Inside, Chewie purrs happily next to her litter of eggs. And just then the claw banging on the ship finally breaks through, and Harrison begins frantically meowing over the comm. Carol and Rocket begin to get ready to fight the aliens, and Rocket says, you know, a sorry you were right all along would be nice. Tick shuts the door to the storage room, grabbing Chewie, stating, it's going to be okay. Captain Marvel's going to save us. And just then, Chewie's eggs begin to hatch, and a paw reaches out. Carol and Rocket hurry back to the computers, and a voice comes over the radio stating, attention vessel, recon vapors confirm the presence of the universe's last known living Florkin. Prepare for boarding and custody transfer in 10. Rocket says, wait, the last? Carol calls over to Tick, stating that they're going to need to start moving those eggs onto the shuttle and get ready to leave. Tick runs out of the room with a container filled with Florkin kittens, stating that they're hatching already. This is probably not the best time to move them. Carol shouts, I don't care! Tick starts loading the kittens into the shuttle, but before the doors can close, Chewie jumps out, hissing and staying aboard the main ship. Carol shouts to Chewie to just get back here, and Tick asks, why would she leave her babies? Carol tells her that Chewie must be staying with Rocket and Harrison to try and protect her young. She's gonna have to go get the floor kittens out of here. Back in the main ship, Chewie hisses while trying to swipe at Rocket, and Rocket goes, look, I know you're a little sore that I tried to kill you and all, but you're gonna have to take my word that I feel like some kind of kid ship to anything that's the last of its kind, even a murderous vermin. Just then there's a loud doom, and as the lights go out, Rocket says, "Oh, Karatak." He turns on his headlamp, looking around, and he sees a black goo seeping through the fence. And just as a little tendril tickles his ear, he spins back, shooting it. He begins to shout, the goo is attacking! The thing out there is in a ship at the hive! Out in space, Carol blasts through the goo, stating that her attacks aren't doing much other than moving it around. They're going to need to trap it somehow. Tick calls out over the radio, stating that she's sorry for this, but she's taken the escape shuttle and slams right into a large mass of goo. Carol says maybe if they combine their weapons, they might be able to push this stuff back. On her cue, fire! Tick flies the shuttle back around, and once she's ready, Carol tells her to fire. The two fire into the goo where they are breaching into the ship, and with their combined strength, they break through the claw lodged into the ship. Carol asks Rocket if he's got the controls in, and as he screams over the comms, Carol says, okay, we're just gonna hope this works. She flies behind the hive, stating that its thrusters are burning some kind of organic material, and the faster it burns, the faster it moves, so let's try this. She charges up a full-powered blast and fires it into the back of the hive. And as a bright light shines, the hive suddenly rockets off into space away from everyone. Once the ghost is clear, she asks if they're okay in there, and the goo guts drip off of Rocket and Chewie, and he says, the fine okay. The two start shaking to get the blood off, and just then, more of the goo reaches out to grab them. Chewie turns around, opening up her mouth, releasing a giant tentacle monster, and eats up the rest of the goo before slurping it into her mouth. Rocket's heart begins to pound, stating, that was the single greatest thing I have ever seen in my life. And Chewie looks back lovingly and burns. A few weeks later, at the Refugee Rehab and Relocation Center, Carol works with Dr. Mohan, telling her that Rocket worked his magic and repaired the ship, but still wasn't able to get the translator working. Mohan says, well, they haven't gotten anywhere either. However, there are some things that they have learned. For one, they think that Chewie has been gestating her eggs the entire time that she was with him. Carol says that would explain her temperament. It is possible that Chewie was storing her eggs in pocket dimensions, much like hamster cheeks. Chewie has physical access to bubbles of space and time that exist in other worlds. She can add things that are larger than her, like tentacles. And from the looks of it, she uses it to transport between places in an instant. Mohan then opens the door of the room where the kittens are. And while most of them are playing and flinging their tentacles around, Tick shouts that she knew they would come back. Carol says no, she is here to say goodbye. Dr. Mohan is going to arrange transport for her and the kittens. There's no way that she can keep them all safe or fed or find a space large enough for a zillion litter boxes. If anything would happen to Chewie and or the family, her heart would just shatter. Because of this, she has to say goodbye. She sits down and begins preparations to take off, and she sighs, getting ready to lift off in 3, 2. But just then there's a pop, and as guts go onto the ground, Tick says, hey, we figured out how the transport thing works, and it's gross. Let's never do that again. Carol yells, telling her, I told you to stay! Tick says, yeah, but you're wrong. Worrying about that kind of stuff is just the price of admission. Opening yourself up to the pain of possibly losing someone isn't foolhardy, it's brave. Aren't the Avengers supposed to be brave? Carol picks up Chewie, asking, what about the babies? Tick says that there are 117 of them. They're the finest rescue in the galaxy, they will be fine. Carol sits back down and says, okay, Harrison, set a course for adventure. Harrison tells her that there is no match for adventure. Do you mean adventura? The advenso formation is. Carol then says to just point them in the general direction of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Carol then looks at Chewie and tells her that she has a terrible mother. And Chewie sits there in person. And there you have it, more Captain Marvel. Now, we will get back to Captain Marvel, don't worry, but we're going to be holding a lot of her good storylines until we get closer to the movie. But you'll see her, don't worry, so you should consider subscribing to our channel if you enjoyed our telling of her story. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter @ComicStorian, where you can chat with me all day, every day, all the time, all of your favorite toppings at your Burger King Whopper.
That's just an advert, guys. We're listening to a playlist at the moment. Probably about a week, maybe 2-3 months old now. But I'm done. Near enough, I think. What do you think? Yeah, guys, that's tempi. I'm stretching. Ooh, I'm stretching. But that's tempi, guys. I won't do any more darker on the wings because it will just be very, very black. I could probably shade it a little bit so it is darker. Let's see what I can do here. But I don't think we need to. While I've got it, actually, do you want to put a little bit more color on the wings? Because it will be black now, but I can put like a blue or a yellowy red. Make them a bit fiery as well, if you like. My playlist. That's another playlist that's ended. And it's kind of apt as I'm pretty much done now. I'm going to give you another quick close up so you can see it in full glory before I finish the stream today, guys, because I've got a call coming in about 4 o'clock today. So if there's anything you want to change, now would be the time. But otherwise, guys, tune in tomorrow. We'll be doing the digital version of this, where I'll take the picture I took earlier on in today's stream. Whoa. The picture that I took earlier on, and we'll be going over to the computer once again to do some more of the digital art using that free app Quicker. Again, if you haven't already checked out what I do on that free app, check out the other videos in the playlist of Dark Month. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching, guys. My name's been Blut084, BLUT084 Art and Games, here every day on YouTube, occasionally on Mixer, and every day and night over on Instagram. Same name, different place. And again, I want to say thank you to Nicole for joining me and for the idea of Tempi, the Temptress, or the Demon Princess, or Dark Princess. And we'll hopefully you'll be able to find out a little bit more about it in a new book. I can't remember the name of a new book, but the old book is The Veil, where we did another picture for her. Not that one. That was kind of, I took that one off my head. But that's Lily. Again, that one's been, I did a step-by-step on how to do a female figure on that one, and digitized that one as well. So go and check that one out, guys. And that was last week's. That was the second week of Dark Month that we did. So definitely go and check out how we did this one. Again, pencil. This is all in the pencil and a little bit of Copic marker. And you can see how I did the effect of the fire on the edge of the wings in the playlist, guys. That is Dark Month, because this month is all about darkness and demons and stuff. So definitely, if you have enjoyed today's stream today, guys, don't forget to leave a like on to the end of the stream. Or if you want to find out a little bit more, come over to Instagram, leave me a message over there. Or if you want a print of anything that I have been drawing throughout the weeks and weeks, definitely check out all the other playlists. We've done a little bit of Spider-Man, if you're a fan of just a little bit, if you're a fan of Spider-Man, and check out what else I get up to. I do game in the evening, so if you want to see me game on the Spider-Man PS4 game this evening, check out this afternoon or this evening or tonight, whenever it is for you guys. I know that people do join in me at any different time, as Nicole is from a different time zone to me. And I know guys do check back after the stream is finished because of their jobs or whatnot. So yeah, thank you very much for watching today, guys. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you're new to the channel. Hit that bell so you don't miss out on tomorrow's stream. We will be digitizing. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm Blut084 Art and Games. Same name, different place. Catch you later, guys. Bye-bye for now.